After taking a brief hiatus from outdoor activities and workout routines, it's time to get back to the grind with new spring essentials from Mack Weldon. With body mapping technology and fabric mesh zones, Mack Weldon's Stealth Boxer Briefs deliver enhanced breathability and support. And for sweatpants you can wear outside without feeling like you're wearing sweatpants, check out Mack Weldon's new Ace line. I'm doing some spring cleaning myself, and I plan on replacing all my old casuals with Mack Weldon Stealth Boxer Briefs and Ace sweatpants. From socks, shirts, and hoodies to underwear, polos, or active shorts, Mack Weldon promises comfort and consistent fits. From working out, going to work, or going on a date, Mack Weldon is for everyday life. And with Weldon Blue, Mack Weldon's totally free loyalty program, you'll get free shipping for life. Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep them and they'll refund you, no questions asked. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/peasants and enter promo code peasants. That's MackWeldon.com/peasants, promo code peasants, PEASANTS for 20% off. Mack Weldon, reinventing men's basics.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. It's episode 859. And I'm really hoping that we don't have to do any live troubleshooting with Asterios.
Hello!
Is that?
Hey.
Didn't I say exactly what he would say, too?
Hello?
Hello?
I believe you called shot for shot what Asterios was going to do.
Who would have thought Asterios' first word tonight would be hello?
It
Wow.
wasn't just that, though. Welcome, Asterios. How's it going? I got
No complaints. How you boys
I got to
doing?
catch up with all the boys before the show started, but I'm catching up with you now since you showed up at the last minute. Let's hear it.
Catch up with me! I'm trying to think, is there any interesting news?
No, not really. No.
I'm excited to riff on videos tonight.
Yes!
Is that what?
We're gonna riff. We're gonna make people feel small.
Can't wait for it.
Finally. Scott's time to shine.
Yep. Yeah, and then immediately following tonight's show, all of the patrons that are $10 and above will get to see our live review of the 1959 sci-fi horror classic, The Killer Shrews.
Nice. So like a bunch of annoying women who are also killers?
Yes.
Antifa?
Yes.
Sounds scary.
MAGA?
Yes. They're all of those things. Actually, no. It was 1959.
Those were simpler times.
There was no MAGA in 1959 because that's when America was great. Make it great again.
What was that, Asterios?
Here's what the Killer Shrews tells me. A producer knew a guy that could get him shrews for cheap.
Cheap shrews.
Yeah, how much does it take to hire a shrew handler these days?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'll ask my dad.
What? Your dad's a professional shrew handler?
Well, he wrangled his mom.
That was a veiled reference calling my mom a shrew.
Oh.
But it's just not fair because she's a nice lady, but it seemed like a good joke to me.
She
She's
made you
very
beef
nice.
Wellington.
You needed a joke. I'm sure she understands.
Yeah, you've met her, Bill, right?
I don't know if I've met your mom. I just have heard many stories.
You know
I may have.
you know the angle back in the day where Jake the Snake was going to show the Ultimate Warrior the dark side, and he was gonna. And he ended up turning on the Ultimate Warrior and locking him in a box full of snakes. You know, they had Hollywood snake handlers, but the animal rights stuff was way different.
And then Ultimate Warrior said, "Why did it have to be snakes?" Remember that?
The Ultimate Warrior booted the shit out of a bunch of snakes in that scene. Like, it would not be okay. It would not be okay at all. Like, all the animal rights people would freak out. The Ultimate Warrior punted an entire like fistful of snakes sky high across the room in that vignette that they filmed.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that today.
If that's the worst thing the Ultimate Warrior's known for, he's lived a pretty good life.
Well, I've got some news for you. Let me catch you up on the Ultimate Warrior. Everyone, please like the stream. And sign up for Patreon to help us meet our goal so we can do the 10-hour super show coming up really soon. Very soon.
Very soon.
Please like the stream.
If we can get over 20,000 likes, I'll take the butthole challenge.
Finally.
It's about
tonight.
time.
Tonight on Vimeo.
It's about damn time.
Someone in the chat says only Gen X is obsessed with wrestling. I want to point out, like, I'm hardly in Gen X. I'm like I was born where it's debatable whether or not I'm Gen X or millennial, like right on the cusp. And I don't watch wrestling. I'm pretty sure the younger people are watching it, like at least some of them. The thing is that there's so much more things to watch now that you don't have this huge amount only watching like a little bit of things. Everyone watches their own little specialized thing. So
there's no cultural touchstones anymore.
Right.
That's why.
Right. Someone's going and watching it. I'm not watching it these days. I watch the older
and also,
stuff.
I am absolutely not Gen X. I'm, if anything, a baby. And
you're a baby.
So your quote does not apply to me.
Yeah.
Who's getting it tonight? Who's sticking in our craw? Every day there's a villain, and who are we ducking in a toilet today?
I can't wait.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad.
I can't wait to bully someone.
Yeah.
Is that what we do here? No, we don't do that.
No.
We don't do
Ben,
that.
I hate to tell you this. We're the bad guys.
I don't know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up, Scott.
By definition, you're a protag. Wow.
I should turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. DP, are they going to touch me?
Are they going to bully me, DP?
You can't cancel what was never acceptable in the first place.
Yeah, that's why South Park's still around. There will never be another show like South Park. Once it's over, there will never be another show like that.
Yeah, you can't start one now, but it was like grandfathered in.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
kind of like the Constitution.
Yeah, you can never do a constitution now. Imagine.
Yeah.
But since we've had it for so long, I guess we'll keep
It's
it.
grandfathered in.
So here's... I don't know whose side to be on. I think I'm against both people in this video. Because
no, you gotta pick one.
The Cartnark people are kind of annoying. Like, they do produce some funny content, but they are kind of annoying.
If they wanted to, they could just put the cart away themselves and make the world a better
but they
place.
go through all this work. That's why they don't really care. They pretend to care so much about what they do, but they don't. So here's one of the Cartnarks people triggering one of the most easily triggerable people I've ever seen.
Man, this one was having a bad day. Cartnark. Narc is short for narcissist.
This free-spirited young lady, I believe, is doing the thing that we always see when people park at the very far end of the parking lot, is they want all the space.
I know. Did the Cartnarks guy get way more feminine than usual?
I think they send in.
Are cartnarks gay now?
Yes. No,
Is that a thing?
Okay.
They have correspondence. People just go around in carts and send it into the main hub.
Is this like Clay Aiken doing cartnarks?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
claymation.
American Idol second place finisher Clay Aiken?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also failed politician Clay Aiken.
That's right.
Yep.
But they also don't want to take
He's fallen so
the
far.
walk back. Oh, she's closing her door even.
Classic.
Weep, skeep, weedly, deep, doop. Agent Cameron here with the cartnarks.
Okay.
That's not where the carts go.
He sounds like a Drew Droege character.
Yeah.
That's not where the carts go.
No, but there are people, they pay people to
Okay, man. Let me explain. We hear this all the time.
Oh, listen, buddy, listen. I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
I get what you're saying, but
She is trying to kind of be like, okay, yeah, I get your point. But then she's going to be like, but I'm still going to do it.
But who cares about
she
his
didn't
point?
start at the 10 by any means. Like, there's a level of reasonability.
She goes from 0 to 10. When she goes to 10, you'll know it.
Long-time viewer, first-time tipper.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
You're helping us get
broke
towards
your
our
tip
goal.
cherry.
And everyone, liking the stream really helps. Every time a bunch of people like the stream, we get more live viewers. I think it's like directly tied into how we get promoted on YouTube now. So if you could throw us a couple likes, that would be great.
But
there's no, I don't give.
you don't care?
No, because they pay people.
Well, now, ma'am,
big money
when you go to the
go up and collect them.
Sure,
Listen,
but-
I get a kid that I got to get back.
Oh, is there a kid starving to death or something?
No, but no.
They also pay. Do you pee on the seat when you use a public restroom? Because they pay people to
Wipe
clean it.
that shit up. That's disgusting.
That's the same idea.
I wiped
gotcha.
that shit up. That's disgusting.
The carts
Okay.
are my life. That's why. And don't
The
listen to
carts
music
are
when
my
you're in your car.
life.
That's not safe, and it's against.
I'm team this woman.
I was about to say FAA regulations.
Yeah.
Not FAA.
DMV regulations. Not
Yeah.
supposed to. Oh, what's she
Not
doing?
supposed to listen to music while you drive. Eat trash, you
Oh no,
goofball.
now you're littering. Don't be a litter bug. Here, I'll put one on the back of your car here for you.
Okay, can you please pause this, please? I beg of you. I want to establish something. This guy does not work for Publix. Right?
No. He
He's
hangs
like a freelance.
He's a vigilante.
He's a
cartulante.
Yes.
He's a cart Karen.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry.
He's a narc.
I can't be down with this.
I don't side with the narcs, man.
No.
He should go to jail.
Yeah.
Madam,
Knock it off right now.
I'll put it like
Now,
this.
I will if you take your cart back. Would you like to do that for me?
Knock it off.
Knock what off? Being responsible.
Maybe it would be a little bit more acceptable, but he is clearly like he's trying to turn this into a little business. I don't
He's trolling.
Like it. This is his brand.
This is a genre of videos, and as Billy said, there's a few of them spread around different cities. I haven't seen this particular guy before this one.
Person?
Touch my stuff.
That's okay. It's for you. See, he's got our phone number on it. You can
Don't
call.
bother me right now. I mean it.
But you're bothering people by blocking the spot. Do you understand the correlation, madam?
You're starting this shit. Back the fuck off.
You started it with
You
your cart,
are
ma'am.
starting
All I did was ask you.
What they pay people for.
But, ma'am, what you
Leave me the fuck alone.
Wait.
I mean it.
Okay,
Leave me.
I got more.
Get the fuck away from me.
What are you doing? You're blocking traffic
No,
now.
you're starting shit.
Ma'am, you
You're
started
starting
the
it.
proof with your.
Yes.
Get anywhere near me.
Walk out of
How about this?
guy.
Stop.
Didn't.
You want to have a conversation, be civil, or do you
Give
want to
him a
yell like
Stone
a big
Cold
old
Stunner.
sourpuss?
Me.
I didn't touch you. I never have.
You're touching my shit.
And
Stop.
someone else is going to touch you with your cart when they try to pull in there.
Stop.
All right, so now the other people are mad.
Yeah.
Sir,
This is what
did
happens
you
when
see
you.
what she did with her cart?
You just did what
See,
you did
now
with her
you're
cart.
overreacting. You're falling for her tricks. I'll give you one right there.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. It's the carts.
Stop it.
Madam, would you...
Leave me the fuck alone.
Madam, why
People,
are you
leave me
reacting this way?
alone.
Why
Leave
are
her
you not,
alone.
Leave me alone.
Why are
Leave
you
her
not
alone.
addressing
My
the
life.
situation with the cart?
She's had a bad day.
Make it hard for her.
Don't come near me again.
By not coming near you.
Do not come near my car.
What about the cart?
I don't give, dude. They fucking pay people.
I told you the
Leave me
analogy.
alone.
She's a job creator.
She is a job creator. She's one of the good ones.
If someone put anything on my car, I would murder them and get away with it.
Absolutely. I would kill them. I would fucking kill them.
This lady is actually being I would have hit this guy by now.
They are just magnets.
Yeah,
I want to point it out. They are just magnets.
Yeah, but
I know. Still, do not touch my property, because then I will make you my property.
oh, look at Scott
Wow,
trapping people in his
racism.
basement again.
Trash on the ground because they pay people to pick
do
that
it.
up too.
No, they
I'll
don't
fucking
pay
do it.
people to pick it up.
Then what are garbage men for?
Shut the fuck up and leave me. Get
Madam.
away from me.
Madam, I'm not okay. Tell you what, I will leave you alone if you want to take the cart back.
Stay away from me.
Madam, you're blocking traffic again here.
Dude, do not come near my fucking car.
Why are you so angry?
Because you're
You won't leave me
cunts.
alone.
Yeah, I will leave you alone.
That shit.
I will leave you alone if you take your cart back. How about that?
You don't work for these fucking people.
What does that make?
Leave me alone.
Madam, what difference does that make?
My God,
It's the
do
principle.
not come. Get the fuck away from me.
Why are you screaming at me? I'm being a nice
Dude.
guy.
I'm being a nice guy.
It's a magnet. It's got our proper
Yes,
magnets.
you're not a nice guy. You're a piece of shit.
Hoddly, hoddly, doodly, doodly, boop, boop, boop.
So what
What's going
would
on?
you guys say to the argument that this guy is helping prevent people's cars from getting damaged because the loose
I
carts
think
can...
he should be euthanized.
And we don't need you to represent the other side on this. You definitely
Yeah, first of all, that's
agree with
Billy's
us.
job,
Actually,
but you're
yeah.
taking
This
work
guy
from him when
sucks.
you do
Don't
that.
They just passed the... They just...
Ask this guy with us.
We have to represent both sides. It's the DP fairness doctrine.
If he cares this much about the Kurtz, he should go put him back in his damn self. That's what a sweet
That's
boy
the
would
thing.
do.
But then who would
If you
shame everyone
actually
who
care,
doesn't do it?
Put him back yourself and shut the fuck
I
up.
might start
But he
IRL
doesn't
streaming
care.
again.
He wants
I'm
to do this.
I'm gonna get IRL stream and just put carts back
Like,
all day
help
long.
them unionize. Make them sandwiches. Get them a cold drink of water. Like, don't turn yelling at a lady in Florida into, I can't wait for this guy to die. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
In this current climate, this woman is probably the easiest target for him to hit and not get murdered. In Florida, dude, they're in Florida.
Why are they doing this? It's insane. If they were doing this in California, it'd be what? Florida?
Florida.
Are you mad?
Yeah,
Open carry.
yeah. Stand your ground. Come on, man. This guy's one MAGA card away from getting filibustered.
This guy's got a death wish.
Yeah.
This is the entire argument. He put shit on my car. No jury in Florida would vote to convict this lady.
Not a one.
They'd be like,
Not a single
they'd be like, you should have
Not
stood
even
your
a
ground.
real juror.
My shopping cart like a jerk. I was gonna use it.
Why are you antagonizing
I'm not
me?
antagonizing you, ma'am. I'm trying to get you to react. And what's going on here?
Get the fuck away from me.
What are you doing in your car?
I hope she's getting a lion out of her car.
Ma'am.
What you're doing is
Release the
harassing me.
What I'm doing is
dogs.
being a public servant and helping you learn your lesson. You're being a big old.
You got your point.
No, but I have my point. If you would take your
Now
card
leave
back.
me alone.
See, what you're doing is she's doing a classic thing.
Away from me.
By overreacting, what you're doing is trying to make yourself into the victim. When everybody with the cards.
I wonder what she was going to
Dude.
do when she opened the door. If she had a gun in her glove box or
I hope.
something.
For a minute.
I hope not. I hope she had a gum in her glove box and was going to chew gum and spit gum at him.
The victim.
Yeah.
Thank you, please,
Did it.
Stop.
All right, because you're causing a public safety nuisance. I will stop.
I'm about to call
Yeah,
the cops.
you should stop.
Let me explain. You don't know the whole story.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Angry moms
All
unite.
the Karens are coming out.
Yes. Attack of the killer Karens. Get 'em.
How do you know?
I don't care.
Yes, you do need to care. Because
I don't care. I'm a random person. I don't
Exactly.
care. People have to go.
that's why I'm
No.
stopping. That's why I'm stopping.
Okay.
Because she's
You have
causing.
to go.
I understand
Stop.
that. I
Man,
understand that.
it's a chain
Madam,
reaction.
This is the problem: is you don't want to hear and have a conversation. You just want to yell and scream.
Yeah,
and
we
be
don't want to have a conversation.
sourpuss
We want to
again.
get home.
I get it, but I am.
If you would have put the card away by your damn self, this would all been over. You wouldn't have had your
I'm acting
content.
responsible.
You're
You know who's acting the
content
fool? The
creeping,
person
you
who
little
left their card out.
sucker.
That's who
You're
left the
not a
fool.
sweet
Sorry, I had
boy.
to set her straight. Autistic, ma'am. First off, it sounds like you're using that word as an insult. Number one.
No, I'm not. Just my niece. I have him.
So now he's talking to this one over here. I think the other one left.
Yeah.
Put the cunt in contagious.
And they
It's just
and
friends
are they-
all over the place.
And are they fans? I'm a fan of law and order.
That's mentally disabled.
Yeah.
Ma'am, people who leave their cards out are
I have a
mentally
law and
disabled, also I feel like you're
ordertism,
still
that's
trying to use that
it.
as an insult. Anyway.
I like Law and Order the way
Jack,
Ben likes maps.
You're being sarcastic.
Saying that people who leave their cards job because I worked in a grocery store.
So did I, yes.
They pay people.
Okay, ma'am, that's the same. Yeah, they also pay people to pick up trash.
Great point in the chat. Given this guy's voice, she could have called him a lot meaner and more accurate things. So I think she was very restrained in her insult.
What was more meaner and more accurate? That he's Ned Flanders? He's Ned Flanders?
Let's see what she could have called this Sean Hayes character.
Hi diddly hodily, neighborino.
Do you litter?
No.
Do you pee on the seat because they hire maids to clean up after you? When you use a hotel room, do you trash the hotel room? They hire maids to pick up after you.
That's totally different.
Those are exactly similar analogies. Those are people who are paid to clean up after you. Do you want to make their job harder? Ma'am, that's the most ironic thing you possibly could have said right now.
Could you pause this for one more second? There is zero difference between this and Baked Alaska. Can we all agree with this?
I don't agree completely. I wouldn't say zero difference. There's obvious differences, but there are some similarities.
It's pretty much.
I would say they're both bad, and I agree.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Camp.
They're both people trying to antagonize Baked
No,
Alaska
okay.
and the cart cops.
Baked Alaska triggers. Baked Alaska triggers people using racist rhetoric. And when people confront him,
carts, but at the end of the day,
and when people confront him, he assaults them with pepper spray or whatever. This guy,
I guess that part
is just being annoying. He's throwing magnets on their cars.
Yeah, magnets are about the same as pepper spray.
No.
And carts are about the same as racism.
No.
So this is a Baked Alaska situation.
It is not.
You know what? When you put it that way, I agree.
Yeah, matter of fact, carts have their own little area, kind of like segregation.
Interesting.
I don't know. No, but it is a similar thing. It's antagonism. Like
Tom Green did antagonism in a similar way.
Yeah, in a similar way.
Not like Baked Alaska.
But Tom Green did it in a silly way that wasn't accusatory of people. So there was this level, right here, right now, he's being accusatory of people, like you're a bad person type of thing. And it's like, okay, now you're trying to start shit. With Tom Green, he was being so silly.
Well, Tom Green was more funny than this guy too.
Yeah, when people went back to Tom Green, they looked like the buffoons. Because you're going in on this silly guy. This isn't silly. This is a trashy person.
Because I'm giving you excellent analogies about other people who are paid. Do you tell when your kid messes up his room? Do you say, "Oh, you're the parents. You pay the mortgage, so you can clean up after me because it's your mess now." Pick up after yourself is all we're asking. They have the cart returns for a reason. Thank you. They should do it. Yes. Thank you.
No, I said they should do.
Should do what?
I'm not buying that this guy is actually passionate about this at all, that he really cares, that he just
not.
This has been demonstrated as easy content. That's what this is.
That's the comparison with Baked Alaska. These people are both annoying and antagonizing strangers. People just trying to go about their day. A lady was trying to get groceries home. Another lady who's just trying to go about her day, and they're doing it for YouTube ad rev. They're lining Google's pockets, and they're putting a little bit in their own on the suffering and misery of others, and it's disgusting.
I don't know. I appreciate the suffering and misery of others. I just don't like the way this guy's going about getting it.
Yeah, there's better ways to do it.
Yeah.
There's only so many interesting ways this situation can play out. I feel like they've explored every one of them at least once, if not more. Because this has been around for a couple of years now, the cart narcs thing.
I don't think we've explored him getting murdered.
Huh. Is that a possible outcome?
It's possible, but improbable.
Right, and they shouldn't leave him blocking spots.
That one would be hard to post.
That woman, if she had a gun, she looked like, the first woman looked like she might have had some kind of weapon, probably a gun, and she was so mad she thought about doing it, but she realized the cops were definitely getting involved if she pulled out a gun. There's no turning back at that point. And then there's other people in the parking lot that might have guns too, that might try to get involved. So it was kind of a smart choice, if she had one, not to pull it out on this guy.
That's what I'm saying.
And I grabbed it and used it, and it was really convenient.
Oh, is it convenient to not be able to open your door, ma'am, and to have your door dinged and scratched? How convenient was that?
Yeah, I used to leave carts laying around all the time before COVID, but now they have to be clean, so I'm like, I can't leave it around. I thought I was doing a favor. Someone grabs the cart, goes back in with it. They don't have to go all the way to the cart thing. They have their cart right there.
I would almost never grab the ones.
I always would. I would always bring a cart back, so I figured it was like a library system. I check a cart out from out in the parking lot. I leave one out in the parking lot.
So it wasn't because you didn't want to do the extra walking.
Well, I definitely didn't want to do the extra walking, but it doesn't like
the extra quarter block.
Yeah, because here's why. I don't care.
So I figure you just didn't want to do the extra walking, and the whole thing where it's some kind of library system was just your rationalization for why you were doing
If I got the cart from out there, why not leave it out there?
Take away his dumb rationalizations. He has nothing.
I know.
Give him a break.
Look, I am, bar none, the most innovative, handsome,
all right, I'm getting out of here.
Intelligent member of this podcast.
He has to do this.
And
nobody else I've ever met has to talk about themselves.
I think you're all
this
very
way.
delusional for denying it.
Okay.
Asia Cameron out.
All right. So I'm guessing from what I've seen by the people here on the panel and the people in the chats, most of you are against the cart narcs guy in this one. Because
the way you set this up, I thought I was going to be more on the fence, but I could not be more against cart narcs.
I've spoken ill of the cart narc people in the past, not this one, but a different one, but they behave mostly the same. And people got mad, and they were like, no, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I might go fishing for cart narcs. Where are the cart narcs located? Because I want to find some.
I think like in the South mostly.
I want to go toe-to-toe with the cart narcs. I'm going to leave my car out just to trigger cart narcs and try and go viral. I'm cart fishing now.
Let's take a look at this. Is Trumpster Bob talking about California?
California sucks, motherfucking shit.
Oh, he finally went to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, good start.
Them fucking homeless motherfuckers in California, all they fucking do is lick fucking buttholes for money.
For money?
There's no homeless people in Texas? I think there's a couple.
But they're not licking buttholes for money.
Oh, Texas has cool, straight homeless people, not like those gay weirdos in California.
There's two options in Texas if you're homeless. California only has one. California just has the one. Texas has that one and steers.
Like any fucking queer could go to a fucking homeless camp, stick his ass out the fucking window, and the first motherfucker would lick it, hand him $10.
Is that how that works?
That's where the term ATM comes from.
Oh.
Ass to mouth.
It's true. So what is obligating the liquor in this scenario to pay the $10 after doing it? Because it seems like it was offered for free. So is the $10 a tip, or is it just assumed that's the going rate?
I thought that the liquor got the $10 for licking the butt.
So you're hanging your ass out the window hoping for a taker, and then after the fact you pay them.
Yeah,
so on the other end, I get to lick ass and get $10.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up stud, it sounds like.
I'd be a millionaire.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Everything that Trumpster Bob said and everything that you guys just said in the past minute is far less offensive than the cart narcs to me.
100%.
Like, homophobia is one thing, but cart narking, how dare you?
Yeah. Well, this cart narc made me homophobic now.
Clearly.
Sounds like someone who never takes his cart back to me.
I know why Ben's defending the cart narc so much. Ben thinks cart narc is short for cartography narcissist, and he loves maps so much.
That's true. Called out on
baptism. If he hands him $1, he's going to get a knife up his fucking ass, right? So he's going to pay him the $10. $10? Oh, yeah, it was a good lick. Next. Drive a look about 10 feet down. Same motherfucker runs down there, licks it again, hands him another $20. Might be another motherfucker licks it next time, another $10.
$20. It's doubling in price every time.
That's one thing with Trumpster Bob is the more he talks about gay, the higher the numbers of which the gay definition goes. Like a cock will grow from 8 inches to like 24 inches in the matter of a sentence.
The cocks that have grown coming out of Bob's mouth, you wouldn't believe.
It's amazing.
Fucking queers, if they want their buttholes fucking cracked clean.
By the way, this episode already has a yellow dollar sign.
Oh, yeah.
Like, already.
Oh, yeah. No, I figured during the carton art segment.
What did we do?
From top to bottom, all they got to do is get in a fucking car, have the driver, or they could drive themselves to the fucking homeless.
And that's also why we need you guys to like the video, because I'm sure we're already not showing up in subscription feeds or whatever. Like, we either have to behave so much that it's like, we have to behave like we're in front of our grandmothers or something, or just not care and have YouTube bury us to the bottom of the recommended.
I think one of the big things we did here is we led off with the naughty, and oftentimes we lead off with the news, and that gives us the illusion of Sweet Boys a little longer.
The last few times that we've gotten green, it wasn't the news. It was something else that I led off with.
Was it Lacey Green?
No.
She's a money magnet. She's a money magnet.
In California, and just roll the window down enough, stick the butt crack out the window. They got a clean fucking butt crack for $10 fucking dollars.
For $10?
Yeah, it's real talk.
Problem with the price structure.
We're talking about a shithole of a country. That's the country controlled by the Democrats.
I just want to point something out with Trumpster Bob. He's about as on par with Gale for like the way Gale envisions the world. Trumpster Bob is like that far off in his delusions. But his
it's about the same level of schizophrenic delusion.
His don't just involve spaceships though. His involve weird homosexual transactions.
Yeah, if Gale's spaceships were just gay dudes, that's Bob.
California.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's now America, by the way. Yeah, almost forgot about that.
You forgot that California is America? It's been in America for a very long time.
Or did he forget that he was in America, period? Because
Maybe.
I would buy either.
He has keystone brain damage. Here's the Fundamental Thunder podcast.
Oh man, that also Florida people.
This pretty much sums it up for the attitude and atmosphere for today.
Right.
Is Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet.
These chunder chubs should change their camera angle. It's like a weird angle.
Yeah.
It's an unflattering angle. Also, what percentage of the books on screen right now have they read combined?
Well, I think they might all be different copies of the Bible.
Some of them look like encyclopedia sets.
Pretty much sums it up for today. I mean, look at what the left says. Everything that's wrong is right, and everything that's right is now wrong.
Right.
I do believe
so
that.
You can't be a Bible-believing Christian. You're wrong. You can't have more.
So far, so good. He's adding.
Say you have to get married.
But you can't be a Bible-believing Christian without contradicting other forms of the Bible that were around longer than the Bible you believe in. That's the problem. So at some point, somebody in this lineage was wrong. And
someone's wrong.
And why do we have to believe that any one of you were right?
And like the odds of one of you being right. Think of every possible option. It's infinite, P.S. And for one to be right, it's not.
Say that you can't get an abortion, or say that you support moral law. You can't just go out and fornicate all the time. oh, we can take care of that with condoms and birth control, and if you happen to get pregnant, just go get your kid murdered at Planned Parenthood.
I mean, the condoms and the birth control prevent the abortion part of it.
How about this?
Being against both of them is counterproductive.
And also, worst case, if you fuck up, go get your kid murdered. That's what they're there for.
They should pool their Christian money together and offer scholarships. When somebody is about to have a baby and they're thinking about getting an abortion, offer them like a $20,000 scholarship to keep the child.
Oh shit! Sorry.
So here's $20,000. Just keep the child. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that's enough to make me comfortable for at least the 9 months till it's illegal for me to kill this baby. Then I'm stuck with it. Give me $10,000, $20,000. I'll keep the baby.
And then what do they do when that dries up in 6 months?
Well, if they didn't use the $10,000 to $20,000 well enough to solidify their future, then adopt the baby out. Like, who cares? It's born.
Give these babies to the Catholic Church.
Yes.
They know what to do with them.
Oh man, I watched Mystic River last night.
That's a good one.
They know what to do with them.
They do.
Evolutionists, just every manner of evil you can possibly imagine.
Now, the public school system is definitely evil.
Right.
But what's really evil, I understand a lot of people can't afford private schools and they can't afford to homeschool, and so they have to go to the public school system. That's what the law says. And that's fine, up to a point. But what really irks me is that the parents never bother to tell them that what they're learning in the public school system is wrong.
Right. What is it?
Did he say the public fool system?
Yeah.
I like that. I like
okay.
that.
No, Asterios, you don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
Well,
nobody likes that. It's a bad thing to say, and he must now go the way of Cartnarks.
Scott, it's like a rivalry thing because he sent his kids to private fool.
No, he probably did home fool.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because these kind of Christians normally do homeschooling, so people who are not qualified in any way, shape, or form to teach children teach their children.
Yeah, these dorks look like they were home fooled.
Close to make more generations of this kind of person, because if you let them out into the world even for a few hours a day, they're going to come back going, "Oh, this is all bullshit. What are you doing over here?" So yeah, you got a home fool.
And it's really unfair. The percentage of Mary Kay Letourneaus in homeschooling are so much higher than public schools. They just don't get reported.
What is it with
That's
people who literally idolize teachers?
They let the public school system raise their kids.
Why do they idolize teachers? Don't they understand Christians are better off when they're stupid?
Yeah,
and that
imagine
is
learning.
Turning your children over to the fires of Moloch eternally.
Yep.
Because if you let the government school system raise your kids,
if you had played that little snippet and asked me if that was Bible related or Lord of the Rings related, I would not have been able to tell you.
Moloch is literally mentioned in the Bible. It was like a pagan deity that people would burn their children alive to, and it even mentions it in parts of the Bible. And now a lot of the QAnon people believe that Moloch is one of the people or one of the deities that's worshipped by the Bohemian Grove and all that sort of thing.
Right.
And speaking of Lord of the Rings, they do have a series coming out, and I heard that Sauron is going to be sexy Sauron.
your child's going to burn in hell, and you should burn in hell because you're 50 million times worse because you let them do it.
Would you drop your
I don't believe this guy's math is correct. It's not 50 million times worse. You got home fooled, dude.
It's bajillion.
I don't want to see how you arrived at 50 million.
Yeah, you got an F in home fool, math and everything. We don't believe you.
Held off at daycare at the Church of Satan? Would you? I sure wouldn't do that. But that's what you're actually doing because they're all atheists.
You're literally better off dropping your kids off at a strip club than you are to go.
I mean, atheists don't believe in Satan. It's Satan is part of Christianity. Christians believe in Satan.
You're literally better off dropping your kids off at a strip club than putting them in a public school.
Wow. What about
literally better off dropping them off at Arizona State, a safety school?
Full system, yeah. Because at least the strip club's gonna teach them that there's a difference between men and women.
Wow. And that's where it ends.
What's the difference between this man and a woman? They both got tits. They both think they know everything. Wow!
I both like to have some kind of sex with them. Yeah, I see no difference.
I do love the Christians, you know. They're so stupid, but so are dogs, and I love dogs.
How about a Christian dog?
They're not really stupid the same way, though.
I don't know. I could probably
Coop car!
Coop car. I'm going to give you one of those
Train
spinny...
for the sweet boys.
Woo!
Oh, twirling! Always twirling toward freedom.
That was a twirl for Coop car.
I'm setting up the stream for tonight's live review of the 1959 sci-fi horror classic. Not really a classic. The Killer Shrews.
Greatest movie of all time.
We will be doing a live review of it.
Are we going to be taming the Killer Shrews?
The Taming of the Killer Shrews. Yep. Yes, it's a Shakespearean piece.
Ooh.
Let's read the Streamlabs and then we will move on to the next segment.
There's one problem. I don't know. No. I don't know if we have Streamlabs open yet. It's gonna take 17 seconds. Coop Car got the Big Love Berry of Gaming, said that Karen was more than a Karen. She's a rare Karen. Maybe even a hollow foil Karen.
Wow.
The Lost Scout says, as a retail employee, he's a hero to me. Oh, cart guy. See, I always thought as a cart kid that you like to go outside and collect carts because you wouldn't have to be inside dealing with everybody.
As a former grocery store cart wrangler, that was like a break. You got fresh air. You got exercise. It was nice.
Yeah. It seems nice.
I always think, I guess if it was raining, that would kind of suck. But, it's Florida, man. Being out in that summer sun.
It rains a lot in Florida.
It's a wet heat. It's nice.
And now, guys, thank you again for tipping a longtime viewer. Thank you for popping your cherry tonight on episode 659, 859. I don't know numbers.
859.
I don't know numbers.
I looked back. My 1 year anniversary just passed. My first one was, I think, 696, first week of March last year.
What?
Very excited.
What? We didn't have a birthday party for you, Scott?
No birthday party. Nobody even said anything. It's like nobody cares. I didn't cry that night, though. That's for sure.
Asterios is going on like 3 or 4 years, I think, and we never done anything special for him.
Yeah, but Scott's like good. You should do something special for Scott.
I've known Scott for...
I didn't want to say it.
Scott, what have I known you for, like 20 years?
I've known you in person for 16. Probably another 3-ish on top of that.
I used to stalk you on the internet. I used to send nude photos to Scott back when it took 14 minutes to upload a JPEG.
Yeah, worth it though. Worth it. Well, your JPEGs took 14 minutes to upload
because I was fat.
You were very big.
The joke is that I was fat, but. Let's all have a big birthday party for all of us.
Was that all the Streamlabs?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna need more Streamlabs, guys, or else I'm gonna forget how to read.
Are doing it.
Thank you, August. Yes, for the tip. Thank you very much for the tip.
Well,
just the tip.
I'm down for group birthday.
Yeah, we'll have a group birthday party. I've been with the show since episode 0, back when it was an old bullshit podcast, and I haven't had a freaking party yet.
What a liar.
It's not fair.
Let's do the news. Let's see what's going on in the world. I'm sure you're all wondering what's going on.
All I know, Biden keeps sending people back to Mexico. I thought that was Trump's job.
No, his job was to keep them from even getting here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He called me, sir, and got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow. They're laughing
Wow.
at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
You better well learn to love it.
Biden seems confused at times during first presidential press conference in New York. This was today.
I literally watched the whole thing. He was fine the whole time.
Let's see.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
He was fine, Asterios?
This is the New York Post, though.
Yes, he did this a couple of times because he realized he was talking too much. So he was like, you know what? Let's get to the next question.
We're going to get a lot done. And if we have to, if there's complete lockdown and chaos as a consequence of the filibuster, then we'll have to go beyond what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh, what's beyond?
Okay.
Martial fucking law.
Marshall Mathers.
Sorry.
Joe Biden's going to declare Marshall Mathers.
This is Kim.
The U.S. government has declared Eminem.
Forget Kim Jong-un. It's Kim, Marshall Mathers Kim, and it's trouble.
Could you rewind? Can we watch that clip one more time? Do me a favor. Everybody focus on the sign language.
Dude, I love it.
So the best way to get something done.
They're very expressive with their face
Near and dear
when they do
to
this.
you,
She's adding a layer
like
of
to be able to,
like anger and righteousness that is not present.
She's doing like Robert De Niro face.
We're going to get a lot done. And if we have to, if there's complete lockdown and chaos as a consequence of the filibuster, then we'll have to go beyond what I'm talking about. Okay. Hang on.
This is a very measured statement on filibuster.
Is she mocking him? Did you just do a hand job signal?
No.
I'm pretty sure the majority of sign language is hand job signals.
You're such an ableist.
So many hand
Billy.
jobs among the deaf. It's crazy.
I am an ableist, and I'll tell you why. I'm able.
True.
Here's Trump sounds off on Biden's policies in exclusive interview. So Trump did a Fox News interview a couple days ago.
Let
By
me
the way,
ask you this.
he's done like 12 exclusive interviews since he left.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how did we get this 80-year-old man that lives in his resort? Where did he find the time to talk? What a get! Trump called into Fox News.
I want to get back a moment
Can't believe
and revisit the COVID-19 because that, you ran on very strongly on the border. That was a single issue for you. The pandemic hadn't happened. Biden ran strongly on COVID-19. Yet I'm learning from Chad Wolf, your former acting DHS secretary, and Democrats.
So is she saying like Trump should have only focused on what he ran on before he became president, and he should have just ignored COVID-19?
We're gonna build a wall around COVID.
He sort of did for a while though.
Yeah.
So I think he did what she said.
As well, that people are crossing the border, and sometimes we can test them and sometimes we can't. So as a former president, you know a lot of details that we don't have access right now to because we haven't had our first solo news conference with Biden. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just from a president's perspective. Title 42, what would it do to stem the tide in terms of COVID-19 right now? And is it being applied in your estimation? You created that.
They're applying nothing. They're not doing Title 42 or any title.
He didn't know what Title 42.
What do you think about movie 43? Would that stem the tide?
I'm surprised Trump wasn't in movie
They're
43.
not doing that movie or any movie. No numbered movie.
I think Trump actually did lead to the European ending of movie 43 happening in IRL, our world.
They're not doing any title. No titles are being done.
People are just pouring in
45, 46, definitely not Title 47.
into our country, and
69, forget about it.
they will destroy our country. They will destroy our country. You can't take millions of people. They'll have millions of people before this mess is over. And they've got some kind of a political theory, I guess, that it's a good thing. Maybe. I don't think it is. I think it's a very bad thing for our country. Again, we want people to come in, but they have to be able to help our country. They have to come in through merit, and they have to come in legally. Right now, you don't have anything protecting our country.
Today, Biden said this unaccompanied minors number is a little skewed because the majority of them are like 16 and 17-year-old minors and not little kids. Like they're
Not
trying to make it seem,
4-year-olds?
yeah. So like old enough to take care of themselves for a little while if they need to.
I thought that was the Rotten Tomatoes rating for unaccompanied minors starring Lewis Black.
It was that
But
good.
I guess I was mistaken.
It was that good.
People just flowing through, coming through. And they're so, the numbers are so vast. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said 20 years. I'll bet you it's maybe forever. Maybe it's, from the beginning of this whole mess. But it's much more than 20 years. They said the worst in 20 years. No, they're going to destroy our country in other ways, too, if you look at what's going on. You're going to have packed the court.
Well, Montana
You're going to have big tax increases. They're going to take your guns away. I mean, take a look at what they're doing with...
Pack the court, tax increases, take the guns away. So the same shit Republicans have been saying about Democrats for almost my entire life.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Man, but
they're going to do it. I swear to God, they're going to do it, though. It's coming. You better stay scared.
The newest thing is the newest thing is the pack the court thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Take a look at what's coming up, and I predicted it all. Now, I must say, I never thought that Biden, and it's not Biden, it's other people that are, putting stuff in front of him.
You don't think it's him?
But I never thought that Biden in a million years would be worse. Nobody did. Would be far worse than Bernie Sanders.
So he's painting Biden as this even more radical, far left-wing socialist.
Yeah, when I think Joe Biden,
Right?
I think the most left politician in the world.
That's what, like, how can anyone take this seriously?
I mean, that's
like Biden is so close to being a Republican.
Right.
Yes.
Hardly, there's not much of a gap there.
These attacks didn't work during the election. Like Trump just kept calling Hillary crooked, and even Democrats were like, "Yeah, that's true." But like during the 2020 election, he kept calling Biden a radical leftist, and it's like,
And everyone's like, "No, he's not." No one on either side believed that.
Right.
Like he was expecting Bernie to get the nomination, so he just used the same stuff against Biden when he got it,
Yeah.
I guess, and didn't want to write new material.
When Trump said Biden was a radical leftist, Biden almost got my vote. And then I went and looked it up, and he wasn't. So I was like, fuck this.
Oh, it turns out he's not.
He was
Crazy.
campaigning for Biden.
Yeah, I was like, why is Trump campaigning for Biden? I love radical
Bernie
leftists.
Sanders on steroids. This is what he's doing with all. And that, you
Bernie
haven't seen any-
Sanders on steroids.
I want to see it.
I know.
Right? That'd be sick.
thing yet. So the Second Amendment is going to be obliterated. And there's no stopping them. And our leadership, Mitch, isn't strong enough to stop people.
Oh, so he's taking a shot at Mitch McConnell now, too. Basically saying Mitch McConnell isn't strong enough to stop, and he never was, frankly.
And there's no stopping them.
Apologizing to Trump.
And our leadership, Mitch, isn't strong enough to stop people. Never was. That's like one of the big secrets. But he had the majority. But now that he's not in the majority, he's not doing his thing. He's not doing what he should be doing.
Is he kind of slurry?
A little bit.
No.
Weird.
There are ways to stop some of this stuff that's happening, but you're going to see packing the courts. You're going to see the biggest tax increase in history. You're going to see the Second Amendment just absolutely obliterated.
First of all, to get rid of an amendment, they'd have to pass a new amendment, and that is not easy to do.
Look, amendments were made so they couldn't be removed, all right?
But you can't remove them, but you can pass another amendment to remove that amendment.
The amendment itself was to correct the problem we needed to correct.
Yeah.
So like we can make amendments, y'all.
There have been amendments that were replaced by new amendments.
Yeah, just because my first girlfriend was a cunt doesn't mean the 37th one has to be.
It's not easy.
Probably will.
You're going to see many other things. The Green New Deal will be put into effect. People used to laugh at it when it was proposed 3 years ago by people that knew nothing about the environment, by the way. And they're going to raise taxes to
It's so scary. It's like the biggest threat in the world.
It's not even close to the FDR New Deal, like as far as size and cost and everything. It's just kind of a clever name. I don't think it's even the same type of thing, as far as I understand.
And wasn't like the original New Deal like one of the best things that ever happened to America? So like it's so strange to play that as some sort of thing that wrecked America somehow, even though it like basically like got America out of the Depression along with World War II. But
yeah, I mean, you'd think it would be regarded, and many people do regard it as one of the best things to happen to our country.
Do Republicans think that the New Deal was bad? Are they against it?
It invested in our own internal infrastructure, for one thing, by creating the WPA. So it put people to work. It hired them directly. They didn't like outsource to private companies. The government hired people, put them to work to rebuild the infrastructure of our country. There wasn't some kind of sweetheart deal between the government and some for-profit contractor.
Do you think that the we need to have like lower the gap between the wealthy and the poor, like, because that's what the original New Deal did. It created the middle class. It made wealth in between, and I think that if you want to be super rich, you can't have people that are kind of rich below you. Everybody below you has to be garbage ants that you could step on. You know.
Yeah. Imagine someone kind of almost as rich as you. That would be horrible.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
I don't want somebody to afford the same yacht I can afford, even if I have 12 of them.
Close.
They're going to spend a lot of the money foolishly on Green New Deal stuff. That doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
I want to ask my team to put up a couple of numbers, and we're showing some information for our viewers, Mr. President, as you were talking and matching up a little bit. You were talking about the surge at the border. Let's go back to Southwest border. Adults up 188%. And unaccompanied minors, I want to talk about the children. Because that's...
Will someone please think about the children?
Now they want to talk about the children.
Yeah, and now.
That's the mark against our soul. And your administration took criticism because we were taking in unaccompanied minors, and they were getting separated from the adults at the border.
That's a mark against our soul. What the fuck does that even mean?
And you see that, everybody on the screen, 92% increase of unaccompanied minors now in 2021 versus 2020.
So Trump is about to bring up the whole Obama built the cages, and sure, but did that mean you had to use them while you were president too?
Well, then why is Biden using them?
Who cares? Yeah, Biden's wrong for using them too. What's your point?
My point is
also bad.
Yeah.
My point is this isn't a partisan thing. This is an American thing.
I'm okay, but that's not my point. He's going to bring up that Biden. It doesn't matter who built them if you're still using them.
Yeah, we're still using them.
Yeah, okay. What's he going to do? Not use the cages? Just leave the cages kid-free?
You can probably put them up on Airbnb.
We're only 3 months in. So as we look at the screen, I want to match that now. Mr. President, when you look at these numbers and you look at what wiped away on the first day of President Biden's administration, an executive order, what exactly were you doing that was working better than what we see now? And I understand that people were flowing over now, but there were some things that you did. You had agreements with Honduras, Ecuador, Guatemala.
Right. She's leading him. She's like, yeah, tell us, I can't put my finger on it, but you must have been doing something better than Biden. Yeah. Help me out here.
Has Trump ever been really good at remembering specifics himself? No. So I appreciate her helping him out a little bit.
I do like the way that he tried to get the president of Puerto Rico on the phone after the big hurricane crisis over there.
Yeah.
That was him looking out.
He called himself because he is the president of Puerto Rico.
Oops.
Mexico.
Sure.
I want the audience to understand some of what was wiped away more than just, well, it had my name on it. Because those numbers that we're looking at now are a mark against us. Those children, their lives are forever different. If they make it.
Well, first of all, I mean, the only problem with giving you this answer is you don't have enough time because, you need about 2 hours to explain what we've done. What we did is incredible. But, in a nutshell, I do want to start off by saying that they built the cages. They built cages for children.
Nice.
We didn't build them. They built them.
Thank you, Trump.
And a famous picture appeared about the cages that were built. And then, fortunately, somebody remembered. And fortunately, we have guys like Morgan and Tom, how good. I mean, we have such professionals.
Who is he talking about?
Tom
Morgan
Ullman.
and Tom.
We have
Tom
such great
Ullman.
professionals. I watch
Tom Morgan?
Yes, stupid Morgan
them on
and
your
Tom.
show.
Sounds like a morning radio show. The Morning Zoo with Morgan and Tom.
With Morgan
With Tom and
Fairchild
Morgan.
and Tom Likas.
They really know their business, and they're not involved in this. They have people that have no idea. But they built cages in 2014, but that was during the Obama administration, and they blamed them on us. We didn't build the cages. They did.
You used them.
Very sad, when they had a picture in the New York Times of children in cages, and it turned out that it was them, and the newspapers didn't want to do retractions, even though now everybody knows that's the fact. But
Hold
as far
on.
as
It turns out it was them. When they printed the story, it was you. It was someone else before you, but when they printed it, it was you.
Interesting.
other countries are concerned, so we had Guatemala, Honduras.
Someone pointed out in the chat, it's Big Cage. Big Cage, the Big Cage industry.
Big Cage is behind everything.
Yeah.
We just started using
why
the
do you
cages.
think WWE is doing so many cage matches? More than they ever used to.
And
Big Cage is behind it.
They got rid of Big Blue eventually, and they changed it all around.
El Salvador.
Because
and
it was
others.
cheaper to make.
We were paying those.
Actually, they created Big Blue pre-Hogan era because it was hard for Bruno Sammartino and the Sheik, both being older top card guys, to climb the regular caging, like the fencing cage. So they created Big Blue with the big footholes in it to make it easier to climb out.
Good.
Yeah.
3 countries, approximately $500 million a year. Who knows what they were doing with the money? You could imagine. They were supposed to use that money for economic development, keep people there. It all sounds good, but it wasn't being used for that. And people were flowing in, and they wouldn't take MS-13 gang members back. They wouldn't take anybody back.
I mean, if they're being a gang member alone isn't illegal. You have to do things illegal as a gang member. And if someone's a criminal, why would we immediately send them back? We would normally put them in jail here.
Well, if they're not,
and then send them back.
If they're not legal, don't we have to send them back? Don't they have to become deported?
No. If you commit a crime in another country, you can be held in jail there.
Because
they don't have to deport you.
I knew a ton of guys who would get deported and come right back up into Washington State.
Okay.
So it just seemed like it was like a revolving door.
Okay. No, if you commit a crime in another country, they are not required to send you back to your home country.
Here. They do.
Well, just because it happens in your anecdotal story doesn't mean that that's the norm. Like literally people go to jail. That would be the easiest, dude. That would be the easiest out to committing crimes on earth. I'll just go.
It happened a lot, yeah.
It happened a lot in your stories, right?
Yeah, when I was in the early 2000s. I don't know how it's going now, but
that's just your single experience on it.
Yes, my personal experience was something.
They would do crimes and get sent home.
They would get sent back to Mexico, and they would come back over the border and be back again after getting caught for doing crimes.
Well, they would get arrested and then deported.
Yeah,
and then
come right back.
And it would also depend on the severity of the crime. Do you think that if they murdered someone, they would just send them back? I mean, if it's petty theft or vandalism or something, yeah, maybe they would hold them in jail for a couple days and send them home. But if it's a serious crime, they're not going to just immediately send them back.
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
for Obama. They wouldn't do it. They said, nope, don't ever land your plane here. Don't ever bring your buses here. Don't ever send a boat. Nothing. We won't take them back. Turn around. They were turning our people around. They were treating us like amateurs, which is what they were. And so I said, well, they was doing that at the beginning of mine, too. I said, so how much money do we pay these countries? $500 million. I said, stop payment. As soon as I stopped payment, all of a sudden they said, we would welcome our MS-13 gang members back into our country. We would welcome. Anyway, I got along very well with those three countries and really well with Mexico. The president of Mexico is a friend of mine. He's a great guy.
Excuse me, because I know I'm going to have to let you go soon, but I want to get this in there. Is that part of what's gone? I mean, is Biden maintaining these relationships? We can't do this without the countries south of the border. In fact, we had some video.
Are we still friends with Honduras?
Are we?
I mean, they don't have a choice, you know?
This is really interesting because this is one person who doesn't know what they're talking about talking to another person who doesn't know what they're talking about. Recently, what Joe Biden did was pretty smart. He told Mexico he would give them millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccine if they would help us out with immigration and with the current crisis at the border. So stuff is being done right now to address the crisis at the border. They just don't want to talk about it. They just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
In Mexico, there are tent cities that have set up on the border waiting to get back into the United States.
Yeah.
Waiting
all
to
those
come
people
here
are going to come flooding in. Right. I kept them in Mexico. By keeping them in Mexico, Mexico becomes much tougher at their northern border because they don't want any more. So I said to Mexico, look, if you're going to do any of this stuff that's bad for us, I'm going to put tariffs on all of the cars that you make for the United States, because before my administration, they stole 32% of our automaking business. The unions don't realize that. You know, the union members realize it, but the heads of the unions that all support Democrats, no matter who they are, they don't realize it. But they took 32% of our automobile business. I said, all those cars that you make are going to be tariffed. So Mexico was great. I must tell you, Mexico was great. The relationships I developed were great.
83,698 illegal immigrants were incarcerated in the year 2018
I like this
alone.
cast. Sweet boys all around. The game is one day we all turn on the Canadian, right? Super
Yes.
funny.
Statistically, illegal immigrants are incarcerated more than
Shut
legal immigrants, but native-born immigrants, just by sheer numbers, are incarcerated almost twice as much as illegal immigrants.
Well, no,
I mean, we can tell that they're not doing
They
that
have a
anymore.
field day. They have people that are rank amateurs. They have people that talk about ideology, but it's not even good ideology. Why would it work? Why are we supposed to take care of the world, and in many cases, the world's criminals? And they're coming over not from the three countries plus Mexico. They're coming over now from Yemen.
This is from 2 years ago. Illegal immigrants make up 13% of the federal prison population. That's crazy.
MS 13%?
Exactly.
This is an unlucky number. Oh, no.
From the Middle East. Who the hell knows what we're taking in? These people are destroying our country. I said it was going to happen during the campaign. That's why I got 75 million votes, probably much more than that. And it's a disgrace what's been allowed to happen.
Are you sure it was probably much more than that, or was it that much? Because that's how many votes you got.
To our country, and they're persecuting people. They're stopping them from talking. They're stopping free speech, and they're
All right,
persecuting
let's get into that.
great Americans.
Let's get into that. Now, let's get into the fact that as media, we cannot get into this border situation, that there is a lid on us with regard to those facilities. Did your administration ever consider some of the things that the Biden administration is doing, closing down a border? I still don't understand, by the way, Mr. President, how that would even really work if it's so porous the way it is. You can't close it
Well, that's why you
without
needed the
structure.
wall. But now I've built almost 500 miles of wall. So it's a much easier situation now. When I took it over, it was a disaster.
Did Mexico pay for that wall? I don't remember.
Well, is it even 500 miles of wall?
Not according
he
to
like
data
reinforced. He reinforced a lot of the wall, but the numbers that right before he got voted out were there was 16 miles of added wall.
It's a fence too. It's not even a wall.
It's just like rebuilt wall that was already there.
Yeah.
He said the word wall so much that people just agreed to call it a wall, but no reasonable person would if someone was like, "Hey, I'll build you a wall around your property here," and they built a fence, you'd be like, "That's not a wall."
You would not get paid for that.
Right.
I'm not paying you.
You said a wall. It's ridiculous.
This wall is very porous.
It was very effective propaganda though, because I'll call it a wall just because he referred.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
But I built 500 miles of wall, and now, you have vast sections. I mean, you see some openings, but the openings get closed. That's what the purpose is. You have to close them. Those contracts have been given a long time ago. And again, that was to get people through. But these are small openings. But
they're small openings, okay? There's openings in my wall. He's talking about how there's big gaps in the different parts of his fence, and he's like, "Well, but they're small. they're big enough to drive a vehicle through."
Yeah,
that has to get closed. But the wall
that has to get closed. So why didn't you make it all closed then?
Why didn't you close it, shithead?
Wall has made it so much easier for these people. And frankly, I mean, I even hear they want to tear down the wall, if you can even believe it. Tear down the wall.
Break the wall down!
Clearly, Chris Jericho is behind this.
The weird thing is that Chris Jericho, ironically, is a huge Trump fan.
He's a Trump guy.
And
yeah, that's a shame. But he's...
No, this is...
And he's Canadian? I mean, I guess the only thing is, he probably knows Trump personally from being a wrestler and Trump's involvement in wrestling. Yeah. So that's probably a big factor in it. And plus, he's rich.
Yeah, it's great to be a Republican if you're rich.
Right.
Yeah, it is a sweet deal.
But
look, we all do it. Let's not mince words here.
The most stupid rich people are usually Democrats, though, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos.
Once you hit a certain level, you go back around the political spectrum.
That's
if you're
weird.
just regular rich, you're Republican because you still care about tax breaks. But when you're so rich that tax breaks don't matter anymore, then you go back around.
Yeah, when you realize that the more money that the people on the bottom have, the more money you're going to end up piecing off of them.
Yeah.
They'll be able to spend more on my Microsoft Windows computers if they could afford them.
Not the way you heard it from Ronald Reagan.
Another. Oh shit! I don't want to play that. I mean, Bill Gates, because he could afford to crush his competition, would sometimes just give things away because his competitors charged money for it. Like back in the day, Netscape Navigator was one of the top 2 web browsers out there, and then Bill Gates created Internet Explorer with Windows 95 and just decided to give it away for free, and it crushed Netscape.
Yeah.
And completely eliminated them.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but there used to be a third competitor in the cola wars. It was Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Sam's Fire Spit. And they started lowering the price of Coca-Cola and Pepsi to Sam's Fire Spit couldn't compete. So Sam's Fire Spit went the way of the dodo.
And Sam's was the best.
A lot of people say Sam's Fire Spit was the best.
Sam's Fire Spit.
R.I.P.
Let's take a look at this. New York prepares to legalize recreational marijuana for adults. It's about time.
And soon for babies.
And New York is ready to legalize recreational marijuana.
Baby steps,
The state would impose
literally.
special pot taxes and prepare to license dispensaries under an agreement.
I love the videos they show. It's either like this kind of stuff where it shows them sorting it in the weed factory, or it's some fat ugly dude with bad teeth smoking a joint and it's only showing this much.
This is the second time that 13% came up on tonight's show, by the way. If it happens again,
interesting,
we have a problem.
The sales tax here is quite a bit higher
Hopefully
than 13%.
it's never juxtaposed with 50%.
I think so.
Then we really have a problem.
Let me see what Washington's weed sales tax is, because that's pretty low, I believe.
Yeah, the only tax I have to pay for my weed is that my dad's dealer is a freaking Proud Boy. So I have to listen to him talk about how they're screwing us out of our
a small price to pay.
Yeah. I'm like, well, okay, I guess, yeah.
Here it's 47%. So if that's true, if you're only going to get charged 13%, that's insane.
Great. You're ahead of the
game. The other nice thing about New York's weed taxes is that a lot of that money is going to go to minority-owned businesses, the same communities that were destroyed by the Rockefeller drug laws.
We have Sean Kemp cannabis here, so we know about minorities in the weed business.
Effective tax rate. Washington has the highest effective tax rate, but we also have some of the lowest cost marijuana.
Yeah, that probably helps. And if you get a medical card, they give you a discount on the tax rate, so you pay less taxes. So that's kind of a loophole to that. If you can get a medical exemption, you pay less for weed overall. California is pretty high, too.
They should start taxing crack.
10%. That's crazy.
Maine's the place to go.
It's not legal to sell, but it's legal to have now. Any drug is legal to have in Washington State now, to possess. I mean, it's decriminalized, so I guess they'll take it from you, but you're not going to do any time for it. You're not going to get a record for it, is how it's working.
Which is that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, New York decriminalized it in small amounts, but like in a year, we are finally going to get pot shops. And by the way, the only reason this is happening, and this is great, is because Andrew Cuomo groped everyone who worked for him.
He just wants everyone to get high and forget about it, right?
He was the guy who had been standing in the way of legalization for years because he's like, I want the people that aren't in New York City in the rural Republican parts of New York to vote for him. He's the fucking governor. Now that he has absolutely no power to stop anything, New York's Democrats just rammed this through.
Down with the gropers, up with the growers. Down with the gropers,
and
up
legislative
with
leaders.
the growers.
The deal would legalize cannabis use
Gropers
for
or
adults 21
dopers?
years old and
Dopers.
includes
The growers.
a 13% sales tax, 9% of which would go to the state and 4% to the localities.
That's so cute, those little plants.
The governor's office estimates that a legal cannabis program.
What an interesting job. I want to go tour one of these places. I know they have them around here.
Are they going to remake Little Shop of Horrors again, but with a marijuana plant?
Oh.
Smoke me, Seymour.
Program could
And everybody gets high off the
$350 million
plant.
a year once fully implemented.
Bro, this is a killer strain.
Wow. Yeah, like Shabisky always asks me what strain I have, and growing up, it was whatever strain people were willing to sell you. I had one strain.
I've got weed.
Yeah, weed. That was my one strain. So now, like, I've been conditioned to not really care that much. I care about sativa and indica. I've noticed the difference, but whatever. Blueberry Kush or whatever. I don't know. I don't really care that much.
There were 3 types of weed when I was growing up. It was cron. Was there middies? That was just really good weed. Then there was like weed, which was regular weed, and then there was dirt weed. And dirt weed was crap.
It came from a brick.
Yeah.
It's all like flattened because it's like it's packed in a brick and smuggled in usually from Mexico.
Yeah.
And it's like they peel it apart and it's all flat and gross. Little seeds and stems in it everywhere.
Every once in a while you get a bag and it was dirt weed and you're like, oh man, the price didn't change.
And you'd wait around all day.
Yeah.
I would wait all day because go figure, weed dealers aren't really good at promptness.
Are unreliable.
Yeah. And you know what? Most of them sold other drugs, which I wasn't even trying to get into at all. I just wanted weed. So, like, they brought that kind of baggage around with them, and they'd always expect you to, like, hang out with them. It's like, I don't know you. I don't want to hang out with you.
I've never understood that. There's no other profession,
right,
if you want to call it that, where after you sell the thing, you get to hang around and use the thing you just sold
exactly.
to the person.
It'd be like if the cashier at McDonald's wanted a couple bites out of my burger, you know?
Yeah.
You obviously have never sold dildos. You ever go to a dildo party?
Double-sided dildos, because that's true. That is for sharing.
We call them devil-sided dildos where I come from.
Oh, what in the public fool system, probably.
The weed stores here are just. I think everyone should have them. It changed my life because I used to buy the weed. After hanging out with my weed dealer and basically being forced to smoke it with him, now I'm high and I have weed on me and I got to drive home. And every time a cop car gets behind me, I'm about to have a heart attack. Like my heart is just, it would like go like I'm doing cardio levels of heart rate every time.
I used to drive old Cadillacs all the time. I love driving a Prius now. Because when a cop's behind me, a cop's just like, oh, it's a Prius. Who cares? Old Cadillac, 100% of the time. 100% of the time, they'll be tailing me forever, pulling me over.
Yeah.
They'd have a car.
This piece of shit over.
They'd have like 5 cars ready to come get me with the second that I was pulled over. It was an operation.
Were they always surprised that you were white when they pulled you over?
One time this guy pulled me over and my window didn't roll down and he had me get out of the car, and he was a tiny little cop, and he just reached for his gun when I got out of the car, and I just kept coming out because of how big I was. He reached for his gun, like, get back in the car, and then he went and got back up afterwards, like he thought he was gonna have to kill me.
I got pulled over almost. There was about a week or two of time in a row where I got pulled over almost every time I drove. And it was when I had moved back to Ohio, but I still had a New Mexico license plate on my car. And in Ohio, when you have a DUI, they give you a yellow plate. And New Mexico license plates are yellow. So they'd be like, oh, there's a yellow plate, and they'd be like, oh, it's New Mexico. Well, I guess I'll pull them over anyway because they're from New Mexico, so they probably got drugs or something, right?
Hey, Ben, my hip ass mom.
Funny. You realize it's not the thing they're looking for, but they still do it because they're committed at that point.
Right.
My hip-ass mom, who grew up in the 70s, just messaged me to say why that the dealers have you hang around like that. It's so you don't look like you're in and out, so it doesn't look like they're just dealing drugs. It looks like you're there for a visit.
Sure, that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
It still sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's an unwanted byproduct of prohibition. I would say
my mom was a hippie, so she knows all this
I
stuff.
believe it. That makes sense. But no one ever took the time to explain that to me before, so thank you.
You're getting home fooled.
Home fooled? I'm home fooled.
Yeah.
Here's Biden warning North Korea because North Korea is shooting missiles now again. So maybe that'll be the Biden war, because that is one thing consistent about Democrats being in office and Republicans mostly, like both of them. They do some sort of military stuff. They point fingers at each other because they disagree on where the military stuff should happen, but they always do it. Both sides.
It's almost like there's big money to be made.
There is.
Oh, okay.
Especially when the vice president, Dick Cheney, was a former CEO of Halliburton, a defense contractor.
Biggest military contractor in
that's
the world.
interesting. We pump so much money in the military, but then we're still hiring private businesses to handle military stuff.
Before Halliburton and the Iraq War, we didn't hire the private.
Yeah, there was also Blackwater.
It was all handled within.
There was Blackwater. They were hiring like retired military guys that were still wanting to do tours of duty, only getting paid way more.
Yeah,
I haven't killed enough people.
Right.
I come back to America and I don't know what to do with my life, so I go get rich.
Anymore.
Here's Biden.
It's like when you are a college athlete and then you get through the college system and you go pro. That's what Blackwater was. Blackwater was the pros.
Yeah. Only college athletes get paid $0, which I think they're trying to change. In the Army, you get paid, or like in the regular military, you get paid like a low living wage, and sometimes they let you live on the base and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes they let you live on the college campus and stuff. Like
you pay for that unless you have a scholarship.
Those are scholarship.
Yeah,
it's very similar.
Let me say that. Number one, UN Resolution 1718 was violated by those particular missiles that were tested. Number one. We're consulting with our allies and partners, and there will be responses if they choose to escalate. We will respond accordingly. But I'm also prepared for some form of diplomacy, but it has to be conditioned upon the end result of denuclearization. So that's what we're doing right now, consulting with our allies.
Just very quick follow-up.
You only got another hour now, okay?
Diplomacy, can you define what you mean? And former President Obama warned the incoming President Trump that North Korea was the top foreign policy issue that he was watching. Is that how you assess the crisis in North Korea?
Yes.
I will say, like, Trump as like a professional troll, him being the first like American to literally waltz across the DMZ with a smirk on his face, that was pretty epic. Because nobody else can, like, people run and dodge bullets across the DMZ. They don't just walk with, like, his little, like, weird crooked waddle that he did. It was pretty amazing.
I thought he was, that might have been the peak of his presidency.
I think that might have been, actually.
Knowing that, what's his name? Who's the basketball player that made that happen?
Dennis Rodman?
Dennis Rodman,
Yes.
yeah.
Rodman,
Dennis Rodman. Broker of peace.
He was on The Apprentice.
I learned something the other day. The apparently all the roads in North Korea, or at least in Pyongyang, but maybe everywhere, only run north-south. So at the drop of the hat, they can like line up tanks and missiles running north-south and already be aiming directly at South Korea, which is a pretty tight move. I can't be mad at that.
They're really into like the way things are designed there are very symmetrical. And and like they have the world's largest stadium. That's where they had that wrestling event that Ric Flair and Bischoff and all them went to.
And Muhammad
it has
Ali.
World record wrestling attendance.
And it has an exact amount of permanent seats in it. It's like a perfect number of them. Let's see.
A perfect number of seats.
Yeah, like a perfectly even number.
Maybe it might be 160,000.
Something like that. Yes. 160,000.
Yeah, I heard that they only give people enough food that there's enough people to fill the seats of the arena.
There are larger stadiums for racing, so I guess they categorize some as like non-racing stadiums. Because obviously you need way more room to have a race.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the that Dark Side of the Ring series on Vice? Those little wrestling documentaries? This coming season, they're doing one on the WCW North Korea show.
I can't wait to see that.
There was a guy that already did a YouTube video on that was really well
done. Yes, it was
done.
good. We watched it on like a post show one time.
Cool.
Yeah, it's crazy because Scott Norton was talking shit about North Korea on the phone to his wife, and they came in and detained him and told him to never do that again, basically.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Scott?
They were
Norton?
going to kill him.
They might have. They like it's not about killing somebody. It's about making them think you're going to kill them, right?
How do we know that is Scott Norton? Is he still alive?
Yeah.
How do we know the Scott Norton of today is even Scott Norton?
Everyone knows the original Scott Norton died, and they replaced him with another one, just like the Ultimate Warrior.
They replaced him with a North Korean that they gave plastic surgery to.
No other human being has the belly to bicep ratio of Scott Norton.
Norton rocks.
Norton has what is a beach ball bod. Some people have beach bods. He's got a beach ball bod.
That's how all wrestlers looked back in the day. Like they were all like big, like Harley Race had that kind of look too, right?
No, Scott Norton was even more of a barrel than Harley Race or anybody.
It's true. I don't know about anybody, but he's up there.
His name should have been the Keg. He just walked around with his dick hanging out like a fucking keg tap.
Very keg, yeah.
He's a keg. The man's a keg.
Yeah, I just remember playing as Scott Norton in one of the N64 WCW games, and how you would block, and he would just like stick his. Instead of blocking it, you like go like that in that game.
Yeah.
And he just like sticks his big old Scott Norton belly out there and blocks the shot.
Yeah, you don't care. Can we pull a picture of Scott Norton
I'll
up
bring
just to
him up
show people,
for people who don't
know this barrel of a man, this keg?
Should I get Scott Norton in his prime?
The human beer keg. Let's go with 98 or something around there.
He was
97,
huge in
98.
Japan, and he was okay towards the end of his career in WCW. But he was a big Japanese. He's an American wrestling in Japan. Like, look at that.
Look at that chunder kid.
This guy rules.
Yeah.
Thick ass. That is a thick ass boy.
Dude,
Right
he had Virgil as his manager.
Oh, Virgil's going to be at the RSP spring break with Shane Page.
He kind of looks like he's doing Stone Cold here, though, to be honest with you. Because he's
Yeah, a
got
little bit.
the vest.
Yeah, this is later version of Scott Norton.
He had some kind of title here.
in WCW, which I'm sure they didn't even acknowledge.
Yeah, do we have a good belly pic of him? Can you type in Scott Norton belly? And
Let's see.
See if that brings us up anything good. His belly at its best moments was just, it was something to behold.
It definitely was.
Look at that barrel.
I don't know why they have Scott Steiner down there.
Man.
Yeah, you know.
I want to go to Ribera Steakhouse with Scott Norton and never leave.
I've got a Ribera's Steakhouse jacket.
Man, I know you do.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
You have one of the good ones too, not one of the sucker ones.
Got one of the good ones.
Yeah.
I got a gold one.
Yeah, Scott's got a gold one they only give to the wrestlers. I don't know who you bought that off of. Probably some crackhead.
I bought it off Tom Howard, who is going through some tough times.
Everyone, please like the stream. Give us a like. If you can do that, it'll get more people in here. It makes us look good.
Even
That's
if you
good.
don't like us, like the stream.
Yeah, the
If you
stream didn't
hate
do
us-
anything.
If you hate us, like the stream.
The stream needs you to be liked. I see someone in the Patreon chat saying the Road Warriors best tag team ever. You know, I kind of agree, but I like the Steiners better, and I think
Yeah, me too.
like
The Steiners are the best backyard wrestlers of all time. They just go in there, do every move they can think of, and it's awesome.
I feel like our generation, I know I'm cutting it very finely, like our generation's Road Warriors are the Steiners. And I know that's only like 5 or 10 years later, but it's true.
I feel you. I know what you mean. Yeah.
let's
Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels, best tag team of all time. Fight me if you disagree.
Triple X, baby.
we will do something else now.
I love Biden. You goofy old fart. Thick soul.
Yeah,
thank you for the
like,
money.
Yeah, just to wrap up this whole Biden thing, like everyone kept saying this guy is he's insane, he's demented, he has no idea where he is at any time.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris is secretly president, and then he just gives like a very passable hour and 15-minute long press conference. And we've set the bar so low for him that he limboed right over it. It's great.
Up until he got elected, they're like he's nothing. He's slow. He's old. He's not going to do a damn thing. And now they're like he's doing too much. He's doing way too much.
Yeah, it seemed like he got better after he got elected. Like he got less dementia.
You think
after
somebody
adrenochrome?
You think they hired an actor?
No, they gave him adrenochrome. He got an treatment. Let's draw a little attention to this because we are slowly making progress, and we really want to make this happen.
We're creeping.
So we're trying to get our Patreon dollar amount, which goes up anytime anyone gives us a couple bucks on Patreon, to the $5,500 monthly. So that's either signing up for a year's worth and it'll divide that monthly, or just signing up for a couple months. However you want to do it. If you can help us get to 5,500, if at any point it gets to 5,500, we are going to plan a 10-hour super show
Oh, shit.
A 10-hour super show. We will bring on a bunch of regular guests. We'll find everyone's time in the day where they can come on, and we'll
that day.
We'll do it. Who knows? I mean, maybe by then the border will be open. We get Scoot down here.
Interesting.
Who knows?
If Scott, if you came down to the studio, I would let you touch my feet, if that's an incentive.
Okay. And then put that on OnlyFans.
I do a foot thing for you.
Scott touches Billy's feet on OnlyFans. Go sign up. It's patreon.com/DP. And I am. Not many people use Subscribestar, but there's enough people on it for me to like count their total. So technically, I could probably add. Let me see. It's not much, but it's like an extra $100 and some odd to it. So, I mean, I would say we're probably closer to like $4,900 overall monthly. So we're not that far away. We just need to.
Pretty close.
There we go. See, that's why I talk about it.
10. Boom.
Yeah, and this is responsible for keeping the show going. The Patreon is extremely important.
The Patreon's almost as important as me showing up to the show. It's almost as important.
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
So we're getting about $140 a month on Subscribestar right now. Not bad.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're about $4,900. So we can get it up 600 more in the next few months. I'll start planning the show. All it has to do is hit it for like at some point. It doesn't have to stay there the whole month. It just needs to get to like that amount.
Just needs to hit it.
But then you're going to want to keep building because the next level we have, we're going to do a 15-hour show.
Exactly, because after you hit it and you guys see me touch Billy's feet, you're going to want to.
There will be a foot touch. Yeah, I mean,
there will be the potential. It's potential.
It'll be on Vimeo too.
We don't know if the border's going to open.
We'll see. It'll be on Vimeo too, so there's no YouTube restrictions on the video. Or actually, no. Well, should we do it on Vimeo and just make it public?
I don't know.
Because then we could make it the craziest show, and we could just make it public.
Good answer, Billy. Oh no.
Because why make the Super Show restricted by YouTube?
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to mull that over. Maybe we can let the people vote on it or something.
Yeah.
Can Asterios tell Dusty the cockatiel that Billy the Fridge is?
Hi! Wait, well, I'm assuming it's a good boy.
Tell the bird he is.
Dusty, Billy the Fridge is a very good boy. Dusty! I love you, Dusty! Dusty!
Therefore
now,
I am.
Asterios, what do you think about Dusty's owner?
He's all right. He's no Dusty, that's for sure.
Certainly.
Wow, you're more charitable to Dusty's owner than Pimp Monk is.
That's the nicest take I've heard on Dusty's owner from anyone so far. So
no,
you're doing
you
good.
know what? I say that he makes these hilarious fart videos. He's at Olive Garden with his mom, and he's like, "Mom, I'm about to fart. I'm about to name it after Pimp Monk." And then he rips his juicy fart and goes, "That was Pimp Monk the fart, Mom."
The best thing I can say about Dusty's owner is that I'm pretty sure he's not convicted of any crimes.
And he was on The View. I guess he asked Whoopi Goldberg a question that she did not want to answer. I can't remember what it was, but she was like, "Nah, I'm not going to answer that." Let's move on to the next segment.
Ba-boom, boom.
All right. What do we got here?
Ba-boom, boom, boom. Step back from that ledge, my friend.
Man, if a 12-year-old...
What happened to Cobes?
Average size 12-year-old just steps square on this. This
Did
gets
Cobes
him
get
right in
his
the
hair?
ankle, and
Did King Cobra get a hair implant?
No, this is not King
He
Cobra.
finally got his
and this
plugs.
video isn't worth watching if we don't listen to what he says, because he says some really weird stuff in it. Otherwise, it is just like a cheap King Cobra. So he keeps talking about a 12-year-old stepping on this like little. I think it's like a trap that you'd set for like animals out in the wilderness. You know?
Yeah.
man, if a 12-year-old just average size 12-year-old just steps square on this, this gets him right in the ankle. And if the more they wiggle, the tighter it gets.
What?
Yeah.
Is he wearing a Kenny Omega wrestling T-shirt?
Yes, he is, and it sounds like he's drunk.
Oh, he is.
And I'm not even saying that's what I want to happen, but I mean that's the size.
I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm not saying I want a 12-year-old to get caught in my trap, but if it did happen, squirming would only make it worse.
So don't squirm.
Don't squirm.
Here's this guy. There's a whole genre on YouTube of like exorcisms, and this is some guy who is being exorcismized.
What's up, Smeagol?
Who's this?
Who is this?
He's hitting him with a Bible.
Me. Who are you?
The Lucifer.
See, he's
the Dulcifer
on his face.
Is it the Dulcifer?
Lucifer would know his own name.
It's me. How much is this guy getting paid for this? Because I want in on it. If I can get a couple bucks for getting lucified, what do you call it? Sexisms, exercise. I don't want to exercise.
Exercised.
I don't know, dude. Is there jazzercism? Is there a jazzercism where you get exorcismed to jazz?
How about a mexorcism where they get the tacos out of you?
Oh, I don't want the tacos out of me. I like putting them in me.
Yeah, it's true.
I cast you out.
Lines.
I cast you.
This is one of those giggle demons. They're so hard to deal with because they don't take you seriously.
Demon.
Asterios, you got a giggle demon?
I might, after listening to this guy pretend he's infected with some sort of demon. I mean, there's only two roads on this. One, he's a crazy guy who really does think the devil's in him. Two, he's trying to make $20. I'll make $20. I'll pretend to have the your mother sucks dicks in hell.
Yeah.
$20, please.
Sorry, Mom. I'll do anything for $20.
What?
I know. There's too many of us.
More than one Lucifer?
A lot.
There's more than one Lucifer? Yeah, you know.
I don't think he even knows his lore.
It's 2,000 years of scripture easily, but I'm making it up as I go. I don't care.
How'd you all get there, really?
What do you mean?
Is this
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't get what you mean. No, I'm one of those stupid homeschool demons. What do you mean? I don't get it.
Went to public fool.
The most dangerous kind.
Uh-oh.
My inheritance? Is this by this witchcraft?
The demon looks very nice in his American Eagle button-up. Crisp, fits him perfectly. This demon's got style. Look, exercise the demon. Don't exercise the style.
No.
What is
Huh? I don't want to talk about it.
This is a weird demon tongue lick thing. It's not right. It's not right at all.
No, it's bad.
He's about to do Popeye.
You're going to talk about it.
Why?
Because I demand that you talk about it.
Oh, this is porn. No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's porn.
This is porn. That
See,
explains what.
Get it. I get it now.
It's got that bang bus appeal to it.
Yeah.
Your cross has no effect on me. What about these buns?
Sexorcism is what we learned.
Yes. Then he lays his beefy man-eater across the guy's forehead.
A butt sexorcism.
They're clearly in a WeWork office.
I can't help you.
Oh, you can, and you're going to cooperate.
You are going to cooperate.
War? What does that mean? You're declaring war?
On you?
No, you're not declaring war on me. I've cut that off by the blood of Christ.
On
you! Christ.
I can't fight. I wouldn't fight. Oh, God. I'm just so mad with you. I'm so mad
This
with you.
is the worst exorcism I've ever seen, and I've seen upwards of 4 exorcisms.
Why the hell did they upload this?
Do another take.
This makes me think
is a
that
good first try, but this isn't a cut and print situation.
this makes me think that these preachers really believe what they're doing. Like this is ultimate faith that people would watch this and not talk trash on it the whole time.
Now, if the preacher is doing it earnestly and this guy is just doing this to be mean to the preacher, I like that.
I'm thinking that's what it's got to be, right? Like this can't. In no way is this acceptable.
I mean, he's doing such a terrible job. He almost has to be.
Yeah.
With you. Oh.
See, I looked up the history on this, and they were getting a lot of complaints that only white people were getting exorcised. This guy was a diversity hire.
More diversity in exorcisms.
It's really unfortunate. Say one thing about the whites, all right, but they know how to fake. God.
Look, I would like to also add something. What if the devil's just a really shitty actor?
What if he sucks? What if the devil just sucks?
Yeah, and it's like everyone's like, "No, you're great," because he's like their boss. Like, what are you gonna do? Tell your boss he sucks?
Yeah.
He's gonna call out their boss.
I can't.
Of course you're mad with me.
I can't leave. I can't go.
But that's not your choice. It's the choice of Christ.
How do we know this isn't just like the Second City or the Upright Citizens Brigade or something like? Maybe this is some improv.
Man, this really fell off after Amy Poehler left.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
I've been following the alt-right Citizens Brigade lately.
I think Asterios was a member of the alt-right Citizens Brigade.
They're way funnier. Oh wait, that's actually just Nick Fuentes, America First.
That was funnier than
all
this. That
commands
little
and you
video
sing.
skit they did.
Oh no, I know. Whoa,
Look at me. Since you've chosen to intrude in this situation, you're going to tell us exactly how you got there. Is this through his mother? Is this through this witchcraft group? Were you there before then?
I commanded them to do it.
This guy
You
rules.
commanded the witches to do their thing?
I did.
Well, how did you get there in the beginning?
I removed his soul.
Huh?
I removed him out of his house.
What do you mean?
Is the priest Googling stuff while he's exorcising?
Yes.
Okay.
He was inside his house. I took him out.
He's giving this guy a 1-star
Wow,
Yelp
his physical
review
house or his body?
for his actor page. They hired him off
Him out
of.
of his body?
1 out of 10 would not
Is that
use
what you're
again.
saying?
I did.
You took him out of his body.
With filth. Yes.
How'd you do that? How'd you get him out
He's laughing.
of his body? How did you get him out of his body? Was that some pretty strong voodoo?
I used the
Line.
I killed him.
He can't think of one thing.
I used the.
He's the worst improver.
I killed him.
What?
You
What?
killed him emotionally.
With the horse.
With the horse. Emotionally with the horse.
What? The
Maybe
horse?
it's gotta be a metaphor.
What horse?
It's the horse.
The horse.
Like the
black
the
black
white
horse.
Oh.
The black horse of death, Ben.
I thought it was the white horse.
See, we all know the black horse of death is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse horse he rides in on. Obviously, this guy's right on the money. He's actually a satanic.
I did.
What do you mean you killed this man with a horse? Are you talking about this
What do you mean
man?
you killed this man with a horse? Don't you remember the movie Zoo? Enum Claw Washington?
No, don't
I killed the man with a
Throw
horse.
stuff out there.
Shout out to Zoo.
Don't you remember Mr. Hands?
Lucifer, if you are Lucifer,
I put the lust in him, the lust for
What do you mean you
horses.
killed him with a
And when the horse
horse?
mounted him, he was disemboweled.
He does virtual spiritual encounters, so we could get him on Zoom or whatever. And
How
he
much
could,
is that? Like $7?
He could exorcise us, get those demons out of us.
I need your help. This
Yeah.
guy's actually he used to be a pro wrestling manager, the guy doing The Exorcist. This is James Mitchell. He went by the Sinister Minister in ECW.
Ah, of course.
Yes.
what do you mean you killed him with a horse?
It means it's what I used. It's what I told them to do.
Told who?
The devil.
I thought you were the devil, my dude.
I thought you were the devil.
No, he's Lucifer. Lucifer's
Oh, yeah.
shitty cousin.
Lucifer is like the god of air in some religions.
Hey guys, what's up? Drucifer here. My cousin Lou thinks I'm an underachiever, but really, I just like to kick back and play with my horse collection.
I've gotten really into gaming.
I'm really into ponies.
You're going to speak rationally to us, Lucifer, and you're going to tell us.
So mad with you.
Huh?
I hate you every day.
I hate you
someone's got to
every
speak
day.
rationally.
I'm
here.
not
That
going
seemed
to
out of character. I
Why-
think he
why-
just does
you
hate this
can't seem to
guy.
get this done. You can't seem to do anything.
Oh, we've done.
Is he high?
He's uncomfortable.
Oh, damn it.
He's
We've
failing.
done a lot. We were just talking a moment ago about the progress that we've made. He can read the Bible now where he couldn't before. But that's not the point. The point is you said something about a horse.
That's
I think
a
the horse thing you just threw out
Back
there.
to the horse, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Explain yourself.
Yeah, just let's see if we can get him talking about a horse. I'm not gonna
I said
fight.
horse.
With the
I'm
horse.
not
Was it
going
a very good horse? Tell me about them.
You said you took
Also,
him
I
out.
need sugar. I need sugar.
Out of his body.
Bring me a
Did you-
Sprite and a
did.
sandwich.
I did.
How did you do that?
Meatball
Sorcery.
sub.
Whose sorcery?
For
Huh?
what kind of question is that to ask me? That's the means with
I'm going to ask you questions, and you're going to give me answers.
I don't want to.
Whose sorcery?
Devils.
I would suck the end of that
Devils.
cross.
Human beings use
If
that
I was like
sorcery.
in
Sorcery.
acting, I would just go down Bob on it, go, right there. That'd be so fucking funny.
Was that a family member or someone else?
No, it wasn't the family members.
It wasn't? Well, then who did it? Who did the sorcery?
Now all of a sudden he's Cobra Commander.
Which is under contract.
I was once a man. I was once a man. Cobra, retreat.
Oh, that's it.
Oh!
We know a remote farm in Lincolnshire where Mrs. Buckley lives. Every July, peas grow there. Do you really mean that?
Yeah, so in other words, I'd start half a second late.
Don't you think you really want to say July over the snow? Isn't that the fun of it?
If you can make it almost when that shot disappears, it'll make my...
I think it's so nice that you see a snow-covered field and say every July peas grow there. We know a remote farm in Lincolnshire where Mrs. Buckley lives. Every July, peas grow there. We aren't even in the fields, you see.
Orson Welles' Find Us Frozen Food commercial with this is like the outtakes too, along with the.
I think this has the line that I love in it, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, this is it. This is like one
This
of the
is it?
most. I love. This is one of the best things any human being could listen to. I'm so excited to listen to
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're talking about them growing, and she's picked them.
Yeah.
What?
In July.
I don't understand you then. What must be over for July?
When we get out of that snowy field.
When I was out, we were onto a can of peas, a big dish of peas when I said in July.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, always. I'm always past that.
You are.
Yes. Well, that's about where I say in July.
Can you emphasize a bit in July?
Why? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry. There's no known way of saying an English sentence in which you begin a sentence with in and emphasize it. Get me a jury and show me how you can say in.
This is Orson Welles, and if anyone's familiar with Pinky and the Brain was like, his voice was like modeled after Orson Welles.
Yes, if you guys don't know who Orson Welles is,
Maybe
then I
younger
hope you
people
know who
wouldn't.
Pinky and the Brain is.
Yeah.
You sick idiots.
That is a demographic, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
July, and I'll go down on you. That's just idiotic, if you'll forgive me by saying so. That's just stupid. In July. I'd love to know how you emphasize in and in July. Impossible. Meaningless.
I think all they were thinking about was that they didn't want to.
He isn't thinking.
Wilson, can we just do one last
Yeah?
one? And it was my fault. I said in July. If you can leave every July.
You didn't say it. He said it.
It's every July.
Your friend. Every July?
So after the show.
No, you don't really mean every July.
It is.
But that's bad copy. It's in July. Of course it's every July. Too much directing around.
I saw someone in the chat say he was Perry Mason. He was not Perry Mason.
Norway.
Raymond Burr was Perry Mason.
Yeah.
You dumb shit.
Well, I don't know that we need to go that far, but yes.
He's
Raymond
on the
Burr
Canadian
was.
Walk of Fame, goddammit. You put some fucking respect on Raymond Burr's name.
Where's the Walk of Fame? Is that in Vancouver? Or Toronto?
No, Toronto.
Certain fjord in Norway, near where the cod gather in great shoals. There, Janstangland.
A fraction more on that shows thing, because you rolled it around very nicely.
Yeah, roll it around and I have no more time. You don't know what I'm up against. Because it's full of things that are only correct because they're grammatical, but they're tough on the ear. You see, this is a very wearying one. It's unpleasant to read. Unrewarding.
You don't know what I'm up against.
Because Findus freeze the cod at sea and then add a crumb crisp coating. That's tough, crumb crisp coating.
That's tough.
I think, no, because of the way it's written, you need to break it up. Because
That can't be what the actual copy is it? Crumb crisp coating? At the very least, crisp crumb coating. But crumb crisp coating makes no fucking sense.
Unless
That's
the coating was made of crumb crisp.
That's not a thing.
A crumb crisp?
Well, no, you can have an apple crisp. You can have a fresh apple crisp.
A crumb
I understand. So you're telling me that the filling in said crisp is crumbs, and you made a crumb crisp?
It's a crisp made of crumb.
A crumb crisp coating.
Yeah. Of course you can have crisp crumbs. A crisp crumb coating. It depends on whether...
Believe this right now. This is unacceptable.
You picking apart this copy is almost as bad as him picking apart this copy, and I'm picking apart the way you're picking apart the copy. We're in trouble now, Scott.
Copy. I stand with Orson.
I stand with Orson, too, as one of the greatest directors in the history of cinema. We're going to pick it apart because you got a bum rap, had to make a couple cash selling peas. I don't care about peas.
Just your anything?
it's not.
No! I love the champagne commercial.
Not as conversationally written. What?
Take crumb out.
Take crumb out. Good. Here under protest is beef burgers. We know a little place in the American far west.
Here under protest.
Where Charlie Briggs chops up the finest prairie-fed beef and tastes. This is a lot of shit, you know that.
It is. It really is.
What beef?
You missed the first beef, actually, completely.
What do you mean missed it?
You're emphasizing
Look, we didn't
fed.
hire you. We didn't hire you to critique our work. We hired you to lend your voice to peas.
Emphasize beef. That's like his wanting me to emphasize in before July. Come on, fellas, you're losing your heads. I wouldn't direct any living actor like this in Shakespeare. Will you do this? It's impossible.
Orson, you did 6 last year, and by far and away the best, and I know the reason.
The right reading for this is the one I'm giving it.
At the moment.
Oh, damn. This fucking asshole's going to tell our boy, Orson Welles, how to do something. Orson Welles is probably the greatest American director ever. Fight me if you disagree.
Yeah, and he got his start in radio, and he's making radio commercials. Look, here's how you handle someone like this. Go, Orson, do it however you want. Just do it. And then at the end go, now look, for safety, can I get one like this?
Let's just get one other take.
If I don't get it like this, and this, at least so they can hear that it's wrong, I'll get fired. You don't want me to get fired, do you, Orson? I'm just a little guy. Help me out here, Orson.
There's plenty of directors
to do the take. Sorry, what was that?
There's plenty of directors I personally enjoy more than Orson Welles, and I can only name like one or two of his movies.
The only people that compare to Orson Welles are probably Kevin Smith, and who else is a fat director? Danny DeVito.
Hitchcock, obviously.
Danny DeVito, Hitchcock, yeah. These are the only guys that compare to Orson Welles.
More for you people than any other commercial I've ever made. You are such.
Didn't he make all of his good movies when he was small, though?
Or Orson Welles?
Yeah.
He was always a fat face.
Smaller, yeah.
He was always a fat face, dude. Peter
Now, what is
Jackson,
it
thank you.
want? In your depths of your ignorance, what is it you want?
Nice.
Whatever it is you want, I can't deliver because I just don't see it. That was absolutely fine. It really was. You isn't worth it. No money is worth it.
No money is worth this.
No, but I do still want the money, though.
Yeah.
Please, yes, don't get me wrong. I still want the money.
Yeah, Ridley Scott. Just name any fat director.
Michael Moore?
Is he? Oh, God. Yeah, he's
Oh,
fat.
yeah, he's fat.
Yeah.
Well, fat.
He wasn't when he started, though. Yeah. He got fat later. If he's watched Roger and Me, he was way thinner.
Yeah, Michael Moore became a great director. You're right. I got to go pray.
We got to pray just to make it today. He's gonna punish that toilet.
Nice.
Yeah, Ben, you are so screwed.
I know. I know.
So screwed.
Yes, I know. But there's there's odor removing spray at least. So what can you do?
Well, that's for standard odors.
Nature calls. Oh man, sometimes there will be shows where he's literally farting the entire time and I can hear it. It's like that. The entire time. And I don't know how he's not pooping in his pants.
You don't know that he's not.
I don't
You've
know.
never checked.
No, I have not. I try to just ignore it.
This is not happening. This is not happening.
Yeah. I guess we'll wait for him to get back before we watch anything else. People keep sending me these old propaganda films.
I want to watch an old propaganda film.
Oh my God. I mean, they get uncomfortable to watch, like ones from the 50s.
Well, you've got to dehumanize your enemy if you're going to go out and kill them.
They dehumanize our own in some of them too.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
They dehumanize like Americans of other races in some of these too. Like,
but are those really Americans at the end of the day, Ben?
Back then,
there's a war on. Okay, there's a war on.
There's a goddamn war on.
This is. I guess we'll see how much of this we can even get through, because we might even just like stop. We'll see. Here it is.
We'll dog show it. We'll dog show it.
Walt Disney? Okay, what does this say?
Washington. The average Negro wage earner today gets 4 times more money than a few years ago.
He was so excited that you gave him an excuse to read that word out loud.
Who?
The gleam in his eyes.
He was like, yes, a meta context.
Who?
No, it's fine. Not you. We're talking about someone else.
Keep going.
The Secretary of Commerce of the United States said today his income has increased more rapidly than the income of all other Americans. The Commerce Secretary said he pointed out the family income of the Negro is today at a record high.
Is that because less than 100 years ago you were paying them 0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a Walt Disney presentation, by the way.
Is this actually Walt Disney here?
Actually?
It looks like him, though.
I'm like, could be. He was kind of a Nazi.
The good old days of a switchboard operator. Patch me through.
This is Ron Livingston.
level on that, Joe? Hey, how's this video coming through?
Are the lights hot enough?
Lights, camera, action.
All right, return, stay clear of number 2 camera, and all set. Stand by.
Robert Trout in.
The Secret of Selling the Negro, copyright MCMLIV by Johnson Publishing Company Incorporated. What is this?
This is 1954.
Is this the Johnson & Johnson Johnsons, or is this...
Different Johnsons.
Presented with the cooperation of the Johnson Publishing Co. Incorporated, publishers of Ebony, Tan, Jet, and Hue. Is Ebony... Jet as these magazines? What are they?
There was.
I mean, 2 of them are magazines.
Jet
Maybe they all are.
Ebony, I've heard of them. I think they might still exist.
Ebony and Jet, yeah.
Asara Production. I don't think they're still in business, are they?
Who knows about that?
More like suck ass, really racist Americans. Boom.
You hit that one out of the park, Scott. We acknowledge, with the thanks to the cooperation of the United States Department of Commerce in preparing this film.
So, the United States Department of Commerce
cooperated.
Hello,
dude.
I'm Bob Trout.
No, your fault,
I've got a story
Disney.
here that I think is big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market, millions upon millions of new prospects with...
He's talking about black people suddenly have money now.
They buy things now. It's crazy.
$15 billion to spend. That's right, I said $15 billion. That's a lot of money, isn't it? The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so big in a hurry, that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's like...
We tried to keep them down for so long, but now that they've gotten 4 times their wealth, 4 times what was basically nothing, and they made us disregard them as purchase power at all, it's 4 times that now. That means we do have to start accommodating by maybe selling Happy Meals with little colored children eating them. That's all we have to do. It's fine.
Likely to pass up chances to sell. And yet right here in our own front yard, there's a neglected market. There's money waiting to be spent.
Someone in the chat says it's not as racist as the title suggests. Talk about treating black customers with respect. But here's the thing. They're being like, hey, you can get money from these people now, so treat them differently than you used to.
But that's...
Because they can give you money.
It's not about acceptance.
That's the rub, though. That's the rub. That's the only reason they ever cared about anybody in America.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is something I think about all the time. People keep saying, you got to raise the minimum wage so people don't starve. That's a terrible argument. You have to raise the minimum wage so people can buy more shit and supercharge the economy.
When Martin Luther King was assassinated,
don't you want that?
He wasn't calling for only the black population of America to have a higher wealth representation. He was calling for all of the poor.
To get the story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret of selling the Negro, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, to customers, and to salesmen. We went to Washington, D.C. We set up cameras and other key points around the nation. And out of this all, there emerged a story, the story of a new market. Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family. Their name is Wells or Wilson, Smith or Brown.
They're allowed
or
to have families now.
Alexander or Breen. They live in Chicago.
Did he just say, they can only have, 5 different last names?
I think he's just saying, names
he
that...
listed all the black last names.
He's just saying they have names like all of ours. Mr. Wilson on a frickin'
Dennis the
Menace was not a black guy, but his last name was Wilson.
In
Jones,
Detroit,
Tommy
St.
Lee
Louis,
Jones.
Los Angeles. Any one of 1,000 cities and towns.
Breen, obviously,
All over
Neil
the
Breen,
country,
I don't think is
families
African
such as
American.
this are enjoying new prosperity.
I don't think
They have
Breen has a race.
new interests.
I don't think Neil Breen has a family either, yeah.
Standards of living, a buying power they've never enjoyed before. They're good prospects for practically all types of goods and services. All too often, though, they're overlooked prospects. Why? Because of some good, valid reason? No. They're overlooked because of mistaken ideas, because of out-of-date ideas about how the Negro lives and how he buys.
Yeah, this is more a reflection of how sad
Yes.
people, how sad it was that people were looked down as not having value, and now that they have value because they can be mined for that value, that we're catering towards taking their money.
The video's existence is the sad thing. Like, someone thought it was necessary to make.
I mean, it's definitely necessary. You got
And it probably was,
Yeah.
which is wild. Like, this is a woke video at the time, and they're referring to them as the Negro. That was that was the best you could ask for then.
The truth of the matter is that the Negro lives pretty much the same as other folks. He buys pretty much the same way, too.
Pretty much the same.
But just the same, a lot of old doubts and opinions.
What year
keep
was this
cropping
again?
up.
1954.
2007.
1954. Yeah, I know. You don't really know. 1954.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
My parents weren't even alive yet.
I
My
don't
papa
like
was,
the big
my mama
business with
wasn't.
Negroes. They're drifters. You can't keep track of them.
Yes, although a lot of people think that way, the truth is that 1 out of every 3 Negro families living in cities today owns its own home. That figure comes direct.
Its own home?
Yeah.
Well, the family owns
Yeah.
its own home. The family
Yeah.
is the it.
The
You know,
way that
I'm
was-
gonna just I'm gonna defend everything this video says
family
now.
owns
That's
its
my
own
new
home.
angle.
Okay.
I'm also going to point out that it's incredibly sad that none of us can own our own home anymore.
Oh, yeah.
This video,
You mean people?
this racist video is a golden age.
Yeah, 1 in 3 black people own their homes at this point in time. Now, 1 in 100 Americans own their own home, despite color or creed or whatever the hell else we classify each other by these days. And if this dog turns out to be
It's
racist,
Marmaduke.
if Marmaduke is a racist dog, we're gonna have a problem with this video. What the hell is this dog doing here?
It's a big dog. It's like over 100
I mean,
pound
listen,
dog.
that dog probably owned a house in 1954.
That dog needs a house. It's huge.
Maybe so, but Negroes are poor credit risks.
Not more of a credit risk than any other group. Actually, the Negro homebuyer meets his payments faithfully, often more faithfully than other race groups in the same
He also enjoys jazz music.
economic level. That's the information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Somebody needs to show this to the guy that wouldn't give Falcon a loan in the new episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that
On Disney
Negroes
Plus.
buy shoddy, poor quality merchandise.
Oh, wow. They have someone, like, voicing the other side.
That's what this has been. It's been answering all this the misconceptions the entire last 2 minutes.
Yes, just to remind you, you're supposed to disagree with one of these people.
Yes.
For the past couple of minutes, we've been disagreeing with one.
Yeah.
But which one is what I'm having trouble figuring out?
Yeah.
The way around.
Good points are being made on both sides.
Oh my
Leading
God.
researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group. You see, there are a lot of
Yeah, but then those
confused
mayo
notions
ass,
about the
crack ass honkies.
Negro customer.
Tell you what.
But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully. They buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits?
Old-fashioned
Take a look
ideas.
at the real facts. Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered.
Facts and figures are racist now, though. Like we can't trust these words, facts and figures. You need to chill.
You think we should watch this more, or do you want to move on to something else?
I mean, it's pretty evident that this was needed at a certain time. Unfortunately, the progress has made it outdated.
The message is outdated. It's like they have money now. Treat them with more respect now because they can pay you.
They'll give you money if you do. That's why you should do it. Not because they're human beings, but because they have money now.
Yeah, but money's always talked.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
Money's always talked in America. It's always been money talks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this same exact conversation happened like 10 years ago with the LGBT. Like suddenly when every corporation put a rainbow in their logo, it was because they were like, we can make some money off gay people if we do this.
Rainbow capitalism, baby, the best kind.
Oreo's like, our cookies have been black and white for too long.
If you search a business like a restaurant on Google Maps, it'll tell you that it's like LGBTQ friendly. And I'm like, what places aren't? What
does that mean?
Yeah, like if they're not, wouldn't they get shut down? Wouldn't it like be on the news that they're like outwardly anti?
If they're not, do they kill you if you're gay? How anti-LGBTQ are they?
Yeah. I don't know.
And are there any near me?
Wow.
Because I'm hungry.
Delicious.
Are they Catman friendly?
Well, we have a place in New York. We have a place in New York here called Big Gay Ice Cream. Not LGBT friendly, actually. It's a trap.
Really?
Don't go in there, gay people.
Don't go in.
You mean if I go get a big gay ice cream, I'm not going to be welcomed as a...
Oh no, sorry. I meant to go back to the black screen.
No, that was the
My
perfect
bad.
time for that. We should that conversation was going nowhere.
Oof.
No, Billy, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I just, I almost outed myself as queer because I wanted to go to the big gay ice cream company.
No, if you're going to out yourself, make it a big deal. Get a bunch of super chats. Tease the announcement.
That's a good point, guys. If we can get to our $7,500 patron goal, I will turn gay.
And I would also like to tease saying something if we get to a certain goal. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it.
Oh,
I think some of you are gonna like it.
No.
Gross. This is gross. But yeah, at the time, unfortunately, you had to remind businesses that they were losing money for being on the wrong side of history. And that's what that was.
So we're going to hang out for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to do Billy and I are going to go do this movie review.
The greatest film of all time.
Yeah. I'm going to make a quick run. Feel free to just explain to them how they can catch the movie review.
Everybody who wants to watch the movie review with us tonight will be available to patrons $10 and above. We will have a patron link to the Vimeo screening, and everybody will have a good time. Everybody will have a wonderful sweet boy time. And beyond that, like this stream, tell your parents about us. They need love in their life too. Why not let the love be?
And that's our demographic is your parents.
PT Hammer with the money push.
Money
Big time.
push.
Thank you, PT Ham. That gets us to 44% of the goal. For those of you that don't know, 4,400 is the amount of people that are allowed into the new system of afterworld.
The 4,400?
4,400. That was a 4,400 reference, a show I never watched, but figured I'd try and make a reference towards it.
A show I know, but haven't watched.
Yeah. I remember we used to sell the DVDs at the pawn shop I worked at 11, 12 years ago. And I would always, they were a hot ticket item. Never watched it. But yeah, PT Ham, thank you. East Max said, Scott is a hottie, but not too hottie. Bayer of Gaming said, what do you guys think of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game? Supposed to come out in 2022. That sounds interesting. I can't wait for the trailer tomorrow for the Suicide Squad film. That should be promising, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I want to see John Cena in that goddamn thing. I bet he's great.
I bet you he's amazing. He's already signed on for his own HBO show, I guess, based around the Peacemaker. That's
He's
awesome.
already filmed it.
Oh, really? That's awesome. The Locust God said, this guy looks like he's about to say Brock Lesnar. That was the guy who was possessed. Goose Juice gave us that 20 money, and Asterios delivered on saying Billy the Fridge is. Justin Wittrock became a patron tonight. Anybody else who becomes a patron at the $10 level like Justin did will be able to watch tonight's post-show viewing of, I don't know, the Shrew, Taming of the Shrew 2, Judgment Shrew. And,
the Killer Shrews.
Yeah. And then R. Azriel said the Frankensteiner and the Steiner recliner were innovative.
Yes.
Was the Steiner recliner?
Sorry. One of those was just a fucking camel clutch.
Yeah,
that
I was
had been
gonna
around
say.
for a million years.
But he put a lot of.
Was the Steiner recliner a high elevated camel clutch or something? Like, was there some sort of variation to it?
There was also the Frankensteiner, right? And
well, yeah, the Frankensteiner was what was brought up earlier in that same sentence that I just read.
They did another one too, didn't they?
There was
I think he means Steiner screwdriver. That was innovative.
Steiner screwdriver was pretty amazing. There was the Steiner line. That was
the
his
Steiner
clothesline.
line. Yeah,
it was just a power clothesline, though, right?
Yeah.
And
they
then
branded their own shit.
They did like the Tower Bulldog too, right? That was their shoulder
Kind of like
maneuver.
the Doomsday device.
It was like a Doomsday device, but instead of a clothesline, it was a bulldog, right?
Huh.
And Fixed Soul gave us that big love. East Max says Scotty Too Hottie has nothing on Scoot. He's the hottest Scott. JC gave that big love. And Vehamuchas says Lucas Warner says he's going to run for president in 2024. And his platform is that he's going to make everything in the U.S. free if you have a job. What is AK going to do as president? And who should you vote for between these two? Ooh, good question. Good question.
Tomorrow night, Actual Mania, by the way.
Yes. Barry of Gaming says number 15 Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want is someone's foot fungus on your BK burger, but it turns out that's what you get when you order BK. BK right now has 2 for $5 option. You can get the Sourdough King and the BK Big Fish 2 for $5. That's a steal of a deal.
Oh, Big Fish. Fuck a fish sandwich from a fast food place.
Oh,
they're disgusting.
Right now, they're having the fish sandwich wars. Arby's has one on a Hawaiian bread. BK Big Fish being pushed to the 2 for $5. We got a panko crusted at Wendy's. McDonald's always the classic filet of fish. They are pushing these fish sandwiches right now. Probably has something to do with COVID, because COVID didn't shut down the ocean.
It's a fact.
I gotta say, I know all these sandwich wars are totally manufactured and like it's just a big marketing scam. I don't care. I'm loving every second of it. I want new sandwiches, better sandwiches. I want these people fighting on Twitter about sandwiches. It's just like Valentine's.
1000% agree. Just stop making them out of fish.
Ooh.
I was really
like
surprised
once in a while.
at the McDonald's the spicy chicken sandwich that they put out, because it was spicier than I thought it was going to be.
Was it good?
Cool.
Yeah, for fast food, it was spicier than I expected. It's not like really spicy, but any spicy thing I've ever had from like a Burger King or anywhere like that, it's not fucking spicy.
Do you guys remember?
So this actually had something to it.
Do you remember the early 2000s era Cajun chicken sandwich at McDonald's?
No.
I don't. No.
It was like a $1 sandwich, and the chicken itself was like covered in a coating akin to the McNugget, but it was spicy. It was a Cajun chicken patty, McNugget patty, type of coating.
Patty mayonnaise.
Very rare dollar menu item. The only comparable dollar
I don't
menu
know
item.
anyone else more passionate about fast food than you.
The only comparable.
I really don't.
The only comparable dollar menu item from any fast food restaurant that compared to the Cajun chicken was when the Whopper was $1. And when the Whopper was $1, that was peak Americana. There was never a better America than when the Whopper was $1.
That's when America was great. If anyone's wondering, like, oh, everyone wants America to be great again. When was it great? When the Whopper was $1.
If Trump could have promised us dollar Whoppers, he would have been president for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Imagine.
All right. Before we wrap, what do you two guys got going on before we end the show?
Go for it.
Yeah. Hey, if you like hearing me be loud on this podcast, you will love the Loudest Podcast. This week, we have an interview with a Homestuck expert, and we ask him why he wasted his life on Homestuck. And he explains it. The trolls and the songs and the posters and the stupid novel that Andrew Hussey wrote and making a bunch of people move to New York and then stranding them there. Oh, you'll hear all about it on this week's The Loudest Podcast. You can find it right here on YouTube. Find it on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find The Loudest Podcast.
Very nice. Everyone, be more like Eastmax and send me a little something on PayPal, paypal.me/NotScottHenson, Twitter @NotScottHenson, and listen to the Worst Year of Our Lives. Just put out a new ep today, and we're putting them out every Thursday and Monday, if you can even believe it. Available wherever podcasts are sold.
Yeah. And did we get through all the Streamlabs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we will see all of you $10 and above patrons very shortly on our review for March, and we'll see the rest of you on Saturday, or actually tomorrow for our Patreon private show pre-show that we do.
And we'll do a pre-show before Actual Mania.
Actual Mania. It's going to be crazy. We'll see you all there. Good night.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.